Choice Hotels get you more of what you value. Here's a little tune to help you remember. Same drive, different day. Don't you wish you were getting away? Pack your bags and come on through. Texas, Ohio, Alaska, we're up there too. Comfort Inn, it's calling your name. Save on the stay. Oh, and free waffles are yours to claim. Well, I hope you like my little song. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
This episode is brought to you by Fox One. Watch all 104 matches of the FIFA World Cup live in 4K for just $19.99 a month with 3 days free. Build your own multi-view, choose up to 3 streams, and follow player spotlights. Stay on top of every moment with live stats, highlights, and instant replays. The FIFA World Cup, streaming live on Fox One. Offers are subject to change. See Fox.com for complete terms and conditions.
Sid and Friends in the morning. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
I'm sorry, Sid. Hi.
Oh, God, don't be sorry. You kidding me?
No, I'm wrapped up in these meetings on peace. And I said, it's between peace and Sid Rosenberg. And I said, let's take Rosenberg, okay? So.
The Iran terror regime striking Bahrain and Kuwait in response to U.S. strikes on Iranian sites near the Strait of Hormuz has continued Iranian aggression, tests an already shaky ceasefire.
President Trump warning, quote, there may come a point when we're no longer able to be reasonable and will be forced to militarily complete the job that we very successfully started, as peace negotiations are still technically underway.
Talk radio host Sid Rosenberg was just in Israel last week, and he joins us now. I guess the first question is, what was it like over there? Did you notice any of this over there?
Oh, yeah. Listen, I spoke at a conference with one of the biggest media networks in Israel, and the talk was President Trump and Iran. You have to understand, the Israeli people are watching this very, very closely, because when bombs start to fly, it's not Brooklyn, it's not Cincinnati, it's Tel Aviv, it's Jerusalem. So they're paying very close attention. And to be honest, they're not very happy with what's going on with President Trump and the United States. They want to see us just level this Iranian regime, knock them out, and start this thing over with. So the truth is, in Israel, where Bibi continues to be obviously vilified all over the world, they are watching this very closely. They want ultimate surrender and ultimate victory, none of this peace talk.
What if the cost of that is much higher prices in gas, maybe even we run out of gasoline, or boots on the ground? Is that a reasonable price to pay in order to take out the regime for America, not for Israel, but you're an American.
I'm an American, and I'm a MAGA Trump guy. I love President Trump. If you're watching, I love you. We need to win in November. That's the bottom line. And to your point, Rachel, no, this is disastrous at this point. But the Israelis don't care. And the truth is, for America, if we're going to win this, there's only one way to win. You know, I keep hearing, well, diplomacy, let's have an honest conversation. That's not going to happen. I'm guaranteeing this audience right now, Iran will never agree to a deal. And if they do, they will never comply. Not in a million years. We can threaten them all we want with economic sanctions. We're going to blow you up. They don't care.
But you're not answering the question about boots on, because then we have to make a decision. Do we put boots on the ground? Because it will take that.
We may have to, in terms of getting to that uranium, right? It's going to be difficult to get it there from the air. And look, my child is not in the service, so I don't want to come off as insensitive to people children, they do serve this country, and they're heroes and they're courageous. But look, you can't start this thing and not finish. Rachel, Griffin, Charlie. That's the bottom line. We started off great. Epic Fury was amazing. It was fantastic. So was Midnight Hammer. Right now we're stuck. We're stuck. And even though we call the shots, I'm not sure we really do. I'm being honest here. So if you're going to start this thing, you got to finish it. And right now, we're not finishing it. So if it means getting some boots on the ground, do what you got to do to win this and end this.
The Muslim mayor who's destroying New York has absolutely zero fear of Donald J. Trump. Yesterday, the Supreme Court came up with a decision that the Haitians could not be long-term protected under the TPS ruling. Immediately, Mamdani goes and makes an announcement telling Haitians that he's going to protect them.
Especially what Haitian New Yorkers have had to deal with, not just for weeks or months or years, but frankly for decades. And to have people who frankly taught the world about freedom have their own freedom be put in jeopardy by the actions of a Supreme Court and a federal administration, it is not only cruel, it's something that we will not ever accept.
This guy thinks he's dealing in Sharia law. Now, what's making this worse, he's getting on television from the White House and telling people that Mamdani is such a handsome, great guy.
Mamdani was here, as you know, twice. And he's a very nice guy. He's a charming guy, good-looking guy.
And he's not a nice guy, and he's not charming. He's a scumbag jihadist who is turning our greatest, biggest city a major hub for all financial aspects of this country into an absolute hole.
We agree on a lot more than I would have thought. I expect to be helping him, not hurting him. A big help. I think this mayor can do some things that are going to be really great.
And for those of you people who are saying, oh, you know what, this is 3D chess, my ass. We're losing the city. We're losing the country chip by chip. I don't see how the 3D turns into a 4D victory. What I see is a straight path to destruction.
I love the Muslims. I think they're great people.
Why would you even say that? These people are antithetical to everything that America stands on.
As we celebrate the Islamic holy month of Ramadan, it's a great month. A lot of friends. A lot of great friends.
And for those of you who are going to go down he's keeping his enemies closer, my ass, his enemies, if it's Mamdani, and I don't think it is, Mamdani is just taking brick by brick out of the foundation of not only our greatest, biggest city, but the United States of America, because now he is becoming the poster child for how to win elections and how to change what was once great into absolute Mecca hell. The President of the United States, with all due respect, sir, I voted for you 3 times. You are failing epically and destroying the future for our children and for Christianity. Put a stop to Islam. Don't fuel the fire.
I got yelled at because months ago I referred to Zohran Mamdani as a terrorist. And I was told that I shouldn't do that. He's not wearing a vest. Doesn't have a gun in his car, hasn't shot anybody. If that's your definition of a terrorist, you don't get it. So he referred a couple of days ago to AIPAC and the Jewish people, us, as a bunch of monsters. You all hear this? A bunch of monsters. So quick story, a couple of months ago, I was aggravated with President Trump. I love him like a father. He said, Mr. President, do me a favor. Please stop saying Mamdani's a nice guy. He's a scumbag. Sorry. Not sorry. I put out a tweet, and I described Mamdani as a terrorist, a jihadist, a communist, a socialist, and then I called him some insect. That's what bothered him, by the way. Not jihadist, not terrorist. I called him an insect. He got upset. So I got a bunch of calls from people. You know who called me? Not the Muslims, the Jews. So when you're trying to figure out why we're not really winning this war in America, this raging war, Jewish people call me to say, that's not right. That's not right. So the next day, and my millions of listeners in New York City, I apologize. But now, here's where tonight I will make more news in America and around the world than anybody else. Because I am here tonight to tell you, 100%, I am revoking that apology. He could be angry. The Jews could be angry. I don't care who's angry with me. I'm past the point. I've given this guy months to prove me wrong. Say, hey, Sid, look what I've done. And almost every day, he finds a new way to disappoint me, anger me, and show me that everything I said about this guy is exactly right.
Hey, Sid, I got the news about you going to the New York State Hall of Fame for broadcasters. And, man, the question is, what took so long? You're a fantastic broadcaster. You can do it all from sports to news. You can keep it conversational. You can be professional. You can handle big time, hard times, good times. And you can make great relationships and get the respect of decision makers, which makes your audience thankful and your show better every single day. Thanks for your dedication. And I'm so glad your plaque is going to be up forever. This is bigger than Cooperstown. The heck with baseball.
Congratulations, Sid. This is a big deal. The I-Man would be so proud of you. I guess all those years of him screaming at you finally paid off. The New York State Broadcasters Hall of Fame. Pretty pretty good.
It's good to be back. I got to tell you, folks, I enjoyed my time in Israel immensely. It's a beautiful country, amazing people, all the nasty adjectives you hear in this country to describe them. And my friend Bibi, who I spent a lot of last Sunday with, a lot. He's a wonderful guy. He's an amazing guy. He is to Israel what President Trump is here. And you can call him genocidal and evil and all the nasty things you want. That man does an amazing job protecting this little speck. I tell everybody the same thing all the time. When I'm on that plane, El Al, I don't watch movies. It's 11 hours. It's a long flight, as you know, Noam. 11 hours. I don't watch movies. I don't listen to music. I stare at the screen and I watch the airplane move. And, you know, years and years ago, I never got the blue peg in the game Trivial Pursuit. Blue was geography. I mean, I couldn't tell you where this bridge was and that country was, but I have studied that map every time I've gone now 5 times. And all the neighboring countries in and around Israel in the Middle East. And even before you get to Israel, about 5 hours into the trip, when you leave Kennedy, you start to hit Europe. You know that, Noam. And all those European countries that hate Israel. And then once you get to Israel, got to get past, of course, Greece and Cyprus. And you look to the north, you see countries like Iran and Iraq. The amount of countries in and around Israel that want to destroy Israel is saddening. And now you've got a lot of folks in our own country on both sides now. Now it's both sides, mostly on the left. It's not even close. Not even close. But both sides now find it chic to hate Israel. And Bibi, this poor guy, has to defend this little speck, and he does it with no apology. He's not genocidal. He's not murderous. It's not his fault that Hamas and these other killer groups decide to set up in places where they have civilians there purposely because they know they're going to die. And I know Israel killed 4 Palestinians yesterday. It's called war, folks. People die in war. But it's not Israel's fault that Hamas sets up in hospitals and schools. You've heard all this a million times. You don't know the region. You don't go. Most of the people that speak about Israel don't even go. You don't know Bibi like I know him well at this point. Well, you just don't know what you're talking about. So at the risk of pissing off people, I don't give a rat's ass. It's a beautiful, amazing place. Bibi is a type of leader that every country should have. Bottom line, he will do anything and everything to protect 10 million Israelis who count on him every day, just like we count on President Trump. So my time there was amazing, and I can't wait to go back. Now, I couldn't wait to get home because I did miss Danielle and Gabriel and Ava, and I missed you guys, Louis and Noam and Justin, and you too, Joe, Nolan. And I spoke to you guys, I don't want to say often. I tried to stay away. I was only on the radio show once. I know I called in Wednesday. I was walking to the Cotel. You know the Cotel, Noam?
That is the Wailing Wall. Yeah.
Very good. Well, the Western Wall. The Wailing Wall is what the Goyim call it. We don't want wall criers, so they call it the Wailing Wall. They started that like they started the West Bank. I call it the Western Wall and Judea and Samaria. But yes, okay. So you have to walk through this Mamilla complex, which has all the beautiful stores we've got on Fifth Avenue and Beverly Hills, all of them, outdoor restaurants. So I was eating at an outdoor cafe when I called in to the guys, and I want to thank all those guys last week for filling in, John, and of course John will join me today, but Jake Novak and the judge and George and Mateo, everybody loved him. So thank you for filling in last week. So I made my one call. It was about 7 minutes long. Peter King was on the phone, too. And we talked about those awful primary wins for these Jew-hating socialists last week. Already, Chevalier's in trouble, I guess,
for deleting a whole bunch of very nasty social media posts, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because, like I said, hating the Jews, that's not an issue anymore. That's a good thing. That's cool. Heck, the vice president does it. Why can't the rest of you? That's right, I said it. Tired of him, too. Tired of him. He can, all these people, they try to sugarcoat it and they try to hide it. But like I say, speak to one of these people who say they're not anti-Jewish, they're not anti-Semitic, they're just anti-Zionist. Speak to them for a good 30 minutes. And I promise you that all of them, whether it's Tucker, even J.D. now and others, they're going to be exposed. Every one of them. Have you not found that, Noam? They're going to say something that speaks to something much larger than Zionism.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Every time. So I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't care. Hate me. No, look, I started the Open today, and Justin, with my appearance on Fox and Friends yesterday. And I got to tell you, it got worldwide appeal. Why? Everybody thought, here comes Sid. Sid and Trump are great buddies. Sid loves Trump. Trump loves Sid. And he's going to sit there and agree that America is kicking ass in Iran. That's what they expected. And in walks this really handsome guy with a great tan and a brand new blue suit, which looked really good, I must say. Anthony at the garage. I buy my clothes there in Brooklyn, the garage. I look great on TV every time. But yesterday specifically was a home run. And they expected me to just kind of be in line with them. And I wasn't, right? I said, look, this thing is not over. President Trump, I got news for you. I love you. You've won nothing. You've won nothing. If this is a baseball game, I said to Griff Jenkins, I got a long career in sports, which he knew about. This is the sixth inning. The game's not over in the sixth inning. Truth is, it looks an awful lot now like it did 2 months ago. And I loved Midnight Hammer, and I loved Operation Epic Fury, but I've loved very little since. And all they wanted to do was paint me as a warmonger. You saw that? They wanted me to be John Bolton. Oh, Rachel Campos. Oh, boots on the ground, boots on the ground. Rachel. And I like Rachel. And she's the reason why I was on the show. She was on this show promoting her book a couple of weeks ago. And we've texted since. We've become kind of friendly. Even though people are telling me she hates Israel, she hates Bibi, and eventually you and her are going to have a big blow-up. That may happen. I don't know. But she's been very, very nice and sweet. Wished me congratulations yesterday, and she's the reason why I was on the show. But she kept pushing this boots-on-the-ground thing. And all I said was, look, we need to win. And if it requires putting some boots on the ground, especially to get to the uranium, which you can't get to from the air, I've been told that by people who spend their days at the Pentagon. I don't come from just a dopey opinion from a radio guy. I know a lot of people. I can't even tell you the names of people I was in and around in Israel last week. I can't even tell you. Okay? You're lucky to have me. I'm a guy that doesn't just shoot from the hip. I speak to a lot of very important people every day, every week. Okay? And they're frustrated in D.C. They're very frustrated. So Campos kept bringing up boots on the ground. Listen, I don't want to see Americans die. You heard what I said to her, right, Noam? Because I get a lot of this, too, from people who serve. They go, oh, tough, big-mouth Jew boy, have your son Gabriel go die somewhere. They say that. They actually say that on Twitter and Facebook. These losers, these lowlives. I have no idea whether they served or not. But they do say that. So I made the point on Fox News yesterday that I'm sensitive towards those parents and those kids. The last I checked, Noam, is there a draft in this country?
There's not, no.
Okay, so they voluntarily sign up, these courageous, brave kids, and they go to war. I don't want them to go. No, Rachel, I don't want them to go. But if you're going to start something, finish it. Not just a war, anything you do in life. Is it fair to say when you start anything in life, you got to finish it? Start it, finish it, right? And if finishing it requires boots on the ground, I'd rather not do that. I'd rather not. But finish it. Right now we have finished nothing. We are stuck. I've been using that word for the better part of 2 months. Have I not known?
Yeah.
I'm the only guy who's honest about this. I'm sorry, Greg Kelly, I love Trump just as much as you do. I can't come on the air every day and tell you that because it's brown, it's chocolate when it's duty. I can't do it. I can't do it. That's not Sid. I'm authentic. I may be wrong. Okay? But this is how I feel. I love Trump. There's nobody else in the world I'd rather have sitting on Pennsylvania Avenue this morning. But if you really think we're winning in Iran, you're a moron. You're a moron. I don't care who you are. Yes, I'm calling you out. You're a moron. It's getting ridiculous. And stop using the word ceasefire. My God. Every day we strike them and they strike us. Almost every day. What am I missing here, Noam? Do I sound irrational to you?
Not at all. I mean, look what just happened over the weekend. We were firing back and forth. We were supposed to have some sort of peace deal. There's no peace deal. We're shooting at each other. So it's just as confusing, as bad as it was 3-4 weeks ago.
It's worse than confusing. It's silly at this point.
Yeah.
It's silly. Confusing is one thing, you know. Well, you're not in on those meetings, Sid. First of all, you'd be surprised who I do know that is in. So I've got a little more information than most of you. But secondly, so what? I got to be in on the meetings? I did sports for 20-something years. I wasn't in the locker room. I wasn't in those meetings with the coaches and the players. But I opined on what I saw and what I think they should or shouldn't do. That's what you do on talk radio. You opine, whether you're in those meetings or not. And again, for the third time this morning, I've got more information than any of you, and even people here. I've got more. Doesn't matter whether I do or don't. They pay me to come on and compel you folks, thought-provoke, and opine. And that's what I do. And I'm trying to figure out just somehow how we're winning this war in Iran, and I can't figure it out. And gas prices are still too high. And the midterms now are a couple of months away, and I keep hearing the same thing for months. It's not days or weeks. Oh, they're going to come right down. Stop it. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I'm not sure they will. But either way, we're going into July, folks. Check your calendars. Thursday, it'll be 100 degrees, is July 1st. If you think we can continue to do this into August, September, with the promise of prices coming down and winning the midterms, again, you're being somewhere between naive and stupid and closer to the latter. So my job yesterday was to go on Fox News and give my opinion, and I did it. And about 90% of the folks that commented all over social media, thousands and thousands of posts, gave me credit. And, of course, there's a 10% that, well, let your kid die, and who the hell are you? And I thought you loved Trump. I do love Trump. But like I've said a million times, and I said it in Israel, Vince Lombardi didn't win every game. Pat Riley didn't win every game. The greatest of all time don't win every game. I want to include myself in this, but I can't figure out a way. I can't say not every show is great because every show is great. So I can't include myself, unfortunately. But you get my point. Not everything President Trump does is a home run. And this one, I'm having a hard time figuring out. So you tell me, Noam, what is your opinion of where we are in this Iran conflict?
I think you have it exactly right. I mean,
and there's no deal.
Yeah.
But people keep saying the deal. There's no deal. Right now you've got an MOU. There is no deal yet. Why? Because Iran will not do a deal. And like I said on Fox News yesterday, if they do a deal like they did with Obama and Kerry, they're not going to comply. I don't care how many people you send in. What do they call those people? Inspectors? Are you kidding me? They've been through this before, Iran. They know what they're doing. I don't care if you send in inspectors every day, the best inspectors in the world, and do all that. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So if you're going to start it, finish it. If it means boots on the ground, bigger bombs, civilians dying, I don't know what to tell you. How many times have we used the Germany and Japan example? How many times, Noam?
A lot.
So what do you think we do?
Well, I think you're right. I mean, if you're going to start something, you got to finish it. And probably should have done this months ago and not trusted that they would make peace with us because they won't. So finish them off.
And then, of course, J.D. Vance, the people that want to keep doing this, they just want forever wars. No, asshole, I want to end it. I don't want a forever war. I want to end it today. what you guys are doing, you're making it into a forever war. Ceasefires, extensions, let's stop, let's talk. They're actually very nice people. You know, I mean, you heard my friend. His name is Dennis Michael Lynch. And I got to tell you, I love this guy. I watch all of his videos on Instagram, and he was bashing Trump for calling Mamdani a nice guy, just like I did in Israel, and I do here all the time. You know, don't forget, when I first got into trouble, if you want to call it that, with the Democrats, and sent out that tweet where I called Mamdani all those names, that was due to my frustration with President Trump, because he's calling Mamdani a nice, handsome guy. And then you get the folks on Twitter who go, hey, Sid, he knows what he's doing, okay? He keeps his enemies closer. And like Dennis Michael Lynch said, bullshizzle. Stop. Okay? I get it with Putin. I get it. I get it with Kim Jong. I get it. I get it with all these crazy world leaders, China too. But when your name is on buildings all over New York City, and you've got me, one of your best friends, I guess, maybe that's an exaggeration, living in New York City, dealing with this animal every day, you got to stop. There has to be a way to deal with your enemies without constantly telling me how great they are. He did it again a couple of days ago. Did you hear it? No.
I did.
What's the reason for that?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know. I mean, you can, you want to be nice to your enemies? You don't want to be overly critical? You can do that without being so complimentary. It sounds ridiculous. He's not a good guy, President Trump. Okay? He hates cops. Forget about the Jews. All you guys in D.C., a lot of you folks listening, you got Jew fatigue. F you, okay? But fine. Forget about the Jews. He hates the cops. Trump is out there every day trying to sell ICE, trying to sell law and order in major cities where he's done a very good job, the president. Give the president credit, right? It's much safer in Washington, D.C. It's much safer in Memphis. I'd like him to come here. I really would. But he's anti-cop. How is that okay, President Trump? Forget about the Jews. He's anti-Italian. He gave the Columbus statue the finger. He's anti-Catholic. He did not go to the installation of Ronald Hicks when he took over for Jim Dolan. He's anti-capitalism. You've made millions and billions of dollars, President Trump, in this country. He wants to take it away from you. If you lived here, like John Catsimatidis and Ken Griffin and Bill Ackman, he wants to tax you up the ass. What do you mean he's a nice guy? What the hell is nice about him? And I've been yelling about that for months, and no one else is helping me. Nobody. Thank God for Dennis Michael Lynch. Thank God. Have you heard anybody else? And I'm not talking about social influencers on Instagram. I don't care about them. Have you heard anybody else in any position of power go after this guy, know him like I have, for the better part of 4 months?
No, I think they're all afraid of him. I think that's
what are they afraid of? I think you're right, but what are they afraid of?
Well, look how successful he was last Tuesday. He dragged everybody across the finish line.
Well, that's if you're a politician. Yes, you're right.
Right,
you should
they're
be
worried about him. I think the president's not even sure what to do with him because his message is working. Whatever he's saying, people are
then
listening.
Isn't it the president's job to come out and eviscerate this bastard and make sure that he ran against socialism? President Trump ran against socialism in 2024. Now he talks about it. He's not even angry. He's like, oh, those communists in New York. Mamdani was able to pull him across the finish line. No, come on, man. Come on, President Trump. Where's that guy that people voted for 3 times that I love so much? That nasty son of a bitch. Where's that guy? I know you're 80 and it's almost over. But what do you mean he dragged him across the finish line? Get pissed. This is disastrous. Chevalier is disgusting. Brad Lander is a lowlife. Claire Valdez, even that other putz, Michael Lasher. This city's going to hell. It's going to hell. And I got to hear my president, my buddy, tell me how handsome and how smart. Hitler was smart, too. I don't care how smart somebody is. If you're smart, use your smarts to help, not evil. Hitler was smart, too. What do I care how smart he is? I'd rather be dumb, which I very well may be. And here's another thing that's pissing me off, Lou. You got the gay pride parade yesterday, okay? You know why I don't go? I'm not gay.
I'm not getting
I'm not gay. I'm not gay. I go to the Israeli Day Parade. You know why? I'm Jewish. Now, if I lived in the city, like Danielle and I a couple of years ago, we lived in the city, we went for lunch. We happened to walk right in the middle of the parade. We stayed, we enjoyed it. It was very nice. I'm not going to travel. I'm not going to make it my business to be there. I'm not gay. I'm not running for office. Why in a million years would Chuck Schumer, an old, decrepit, nearly dead, walking like the hunchback of Notre Dame, Jewish, heterosexual traitor, why would he be at the head of that parade yesterday? You can't find like Andy Cohen. Andy Cohen's gay. Anderson Cooper. And then to watch Curtis Sliwa. He was there. I mean, he looked so ridiculous on a float, dancing with a bunch of gay people. I mean, Curtis, you're not getting their vote. You got 7% last time. Stop the nonsense. No one listens to your radio show. Nobody. You can't even get a 2. And nobody votes for you. See all these old white heterosexual men at the gay pride parade like they give a rat's ass about the gay people. I don't care what you are. You guys know that about me. I'm fiscally, when it comes to fiscal, I'm conservative. When it comes to war, clearly I'm conservative. My social, I'm liberal as anybody. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care what you do. I want you to be happy. God bless you. But I'm not going to go on a float at the gay pride parade and act like I'm a gay guy all of a sudden. I did have one night, but that's a whole other story.
That doesn't make a
right.
No.
I mean, did you see that yesterday?
I did.
Schumer, Curtis, all these, they couldn't look dumber. Schumer is bent over. He can't even stand up anymore.
He doesn't even know where the belt is.
He's a mess. That's the guy you want to head your parade? Get Andy Cohen.
I am the only elected official to have marched in this pride parade. I am the first, and I am the only one.
Can't stand him.
That was his big
I know, I saw. What else is out there, Noam, that I'm missing?
Heat wave about to hit us. That's going to start tomorrow through Saturday. It's going to be in the 90s, so that's not going to be fun.
100. Thursday, 100 degrees.
Yep.
It'll be 85 today, 88 tomorrow. Then we have 4 consecutive days of at least 90-degree temperatures. It hits 100 on Thursday. Good thing I'm going upstate on Thursday night to see my mom. I'm going to spend July 4th weekend upstate. It'll still be 100 during the day, but at least at night it may be in the 60s.
No, well, up there. Up
yes,
here, you're
up
not
there.
In the city, you're not going to get any relief.
Yeah. That's why I'm leaving.
Yeah.
It's actually going to be much hotter here than it was in the Middle East last week. And I don't know how you get relief. I know Kathy Hochul talked about it. Mamdani, it's dangerous. No kidding, biatch. She's no dummy, that Kathy Hochul. What else is going on?
It's still looking for survivors. They don't think they'll find them in Venezuela after those twin earthquakes last week that were,
this is terrible.
It is 1,400 dead. They think that number will definitely go up.
1,400, much higher than that.
3,200 injured, but those numbers they say will climb.
I thought the original numbers they said nearly 100,000 may end up dead. 100,000?
No, that's not right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But a bunch of Met players lost their families there, right? Former Met players.
Former Met player lost his wife and kids.
Yeah.
And in one of those buildings that collapsed, so many buildings collapsed, just pancaked down. And so they won't really know how many people were killed until they can get to everybody, and they haven't been able to do that just yet. So now they're trying to get supplies in. There's a big Venezuelan community in New Jersey, one down in Florida. And then just regular folk who are donating anything they can, and all that stuff's getting in there now. So that'll help those people who are still around, but they're still going through the rubble, hoping they'll find people. Now it's almost a week later, so chances are they won't find people alive, but they're still going to look.
Terrible.
Yeah.
All right, we got a lot of guests today. It's my first day back, and my phone was buzzing. Not usually, but it's kind of 50-50. We reach out to guests. They reach out to us. About 80% were just reaching out to me. Sid, could I get on this week? Sid, could I get on this week? So we got a huge guest list. I'm going to make my way later on this afternoon. I do it every year to the Mainstream House Golf Tournament. It's in Riverhead, a long way out by the Hamptons. My dear friend Bobby Hartmann runs it. It is a great sober living facility for my brothers and sisters in recovery. You know, I do it every year. 2 years ago, it was me and Darryl Strawberry. Last year, me and the former Dallas Cowboy great Thomas Hollywood Henderson. Today, it's me and the former Tampa Bay Buccaneer great Randy Grimes. So he'll join us for a couple of minutes, Bobby Hartmann. Then we'll talk to Joe Benigno. We'll talk to Mike LiPetri. He's got a big race coming up on Long Island against Tom Suozzi. We'll talk to our next governor, my dear friend Bruce Blakeman. John Catsimatidis will be here. Mark Chernoff, the Cake Girl, and Lara Trump. It is an amazing guest list.
Sid and Friends in the morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
A big day coming up for me today. It's the annual Mainstream House. All my brothers and sisters in recovery all the way out there on Riverhead, Long Island. My brothers and sisters meeting for this great golf tournament. Then an amazing dinner, awards and speeches. I'm there every year. In the past, we've had people like Darryl Strawberry, Thomas Hollywood Henderson. Today, my good buddy, the former Tampa Bay Buccaneer NFL player Randy Grimes will be there, and many, many others. Then, of course, you guys all know my dear friend Bobby Hartmann does an amazing job running Mainstream House, putting together this tournament and awards dinner every year. And it's always a big thrill for me and an honor. So on this Monday morning, my first day back after missing 12 days in Israel, Bobby Hartmann, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Great morning, my dear friend. Welcome back home, and thank you for all you do and your trip and your induction into the New York Broadcasters Hall of Fame. You are the man.
Oh, thank you for including that. I didn't tell him to do that, folks, just so you know. That was Bobby on his own, and you're going to hear a lot of that. You're going to get nauseous, a lot of that the next 4 or 5 months before I am inducted, that big, I guess, luncheon coming up in October in New York City. So thank you, Bobby. But let's get to the matter at hand today. This is a big day for you. You have a ton of golfers out there today. Talk about this event and eventually our big dinner coming up later on tonight.
Well, Mainstream House is a sober homes here in Riverhead, Long Island, that I've been doing for about 22 years. I've seen a lot of triumphs of men finding their lives or finding new lives, getting families back together, and it's just wonderful. And they're recovering from alcoholism and drug addiction. And like I said, we've been doing it for 22 years, and not everybody that comes in has money to pay, because sometimes we scholarship people who are down and out. You know, they burn through all their funds and end up on the streets or wherever they may be. And when they sway us to give them a chance, we give them a chance. And, this helps defray the cost of them coming in, their spot here, also for any incidentals. Now, we also pride ourselves with this golf outing of getting the word out of recovery. And you do a great job, Sid, on the radio. You don't hide the fact that you're in recovery as well. So we have a speaker every year, and this year's Randy Grimes, and, he hit rock bottom, and then he got clean and sober. And he's been helping out for years and years. So he'll be our speaker today. A lot of our people are in recovery, but we get a lot of support from the business community at large that understand what we do and want to help out. And if anybody wants to play golf today and help out this, they can call me. We have a few slots left. And if they want to find out more, they can go to mainstreamhouse.org and read up about Mainstream House.
Mainstreamhouse.org. A couple of minutes here with the great Bobby Hartmann. I love this guy. And I love Randy Grimes. We became very friendly down in Florida. You've got history in Florida. So do I. I went to a halfway house, poker house in Florida after going to Chit Chat Farms in Warnersville, Pennsylvania. And, of course, in New Jersey, I also went to a rehab, which they did a very good job, Sunrise. But for folks right now that are driving in their cars on this Monday morning listening that are struggling, you know, Bobby, there's a lot of folks that are on their way to work this morning that are either still drunk or about to get drunk or whatever it is, struggling just to get through the day. What is your message as a man that's been sober a long time and helping addicts all over the world? What is your message to those folks listening in right now?
There's no shame of being where you're at, okay? There is help, okay? There is a better way. And we, Sid, you're a part of that, of putting the word out. that there is help. You can reach out to most anywhere. Go to the Yellow Pages if they still have that. Go to the hospital. Go to the emergency room. Ask for help. Ask that you want to go to detox or rehab. But there is a better way. If you are afflicted or you're a family member of the afflicted, there's no shame in this. It used to be a very dirty secret that people would hide. And what would happen? People would die. Okay? It doesn't have to be a secret anymore. And that's why I pride that what we do here in putting the word out. And that's what I enjoy so much about you, Sid. You're unabashedly telling people that there is also a way.
Now, listen, step one is the key. You get there, you admit you're powerless. This is one you're not going to win, folks. There are 3 results: prison, insanity, or death. And none of those sound attractive to me, right, Bob?
I've been there except to death. I'll wait till God says, "Tax, all right, kid, it's time for you to come visit me."
That's right. Mainstream House out on Riverhead, Long Island. And as Bobby said, make a phone call and get involved. Go to meetings.
They can call me direct, Sid, too. 631-764-3003. I will answer the phone.
All right. Good man, Bobby. Can't wait to see you later on this afternoon. All the way out there on Long Island and Riverhead. It really is a wonderful day you put together. And
you should build a second home out here, Sid. We love you out here.
Yeah.
It's right next to the Hamptons.
I know it is. I know. We'll talk about that when I get there later on today. At any rate, thank you for all the amazing work you do.
Brother.
I love you, too. Thank you. Bobby Hartmann right there. He runs Mainstream House out on Riverhead, Long Island. Today, the big annual golf event and awards dinner, helping all of our brothers and sisters in recovery. We'll take a short break, come back. The Mets need a new manager, and are the Knicks going to go see Trump at the White House? WFAN legend and now Sid Rosenberg weekly contributor Joe Benigno. He's coming up next on the Monday edition of Sid and Friends in the Morning.
This is Sid on Sports. Oh, my goodness. Sponsored by Peerless Boilers on 77 WABC.
Justin Ellick here with your sports update, sponsored by Pete Morgan and Peerless Boilers. Go to peerlessboilers.com to find a deal under you. Peerless Boilers, the world's best-built boilers. Yankees lost 5-4 to the Red Sox in the finale of a 4-game series. They get swept over the weekend in Boston, fall into second place in the AL East, 1 game back now of Tampa Bay. Starter Sonny Gray took a no-hitter into the 8th against his former team before Ahmed Rosario singled with 1 out. But the Yankees scored twice in the 9th off closer Aroldis Chapman, also a former Yankee there, to tie it at 2-all, aided enormously by a big throwing error by right fielder Wilyer Abreu. New York scratched across 2 more runs in the 10th, but right-hander Fernando Cruz was unable to hold the lead after closer David Bednar had pitched the previous 2 innings. Up next for the Yankees, lefty Ryan Weathers will get the start in tonight's opener of a 3-game series back at home against the visiting Detroit Tigers. First pitch from the Bronx is scheduled for 7:05. In Queens, the Mets lost 5-4 in the finale rubber game of a 3-game series against the Phillies. Pinch hitter A.J. Ewing tied at 3-all with a 2-run homer for the Mets in the 6th. Fellow rookie Carson Benj, who had 2 RBI, drove in the go-ahead run on a fielder's choice later in the inning. But New York dropped 2 of 3 games in its first series under interim manager Andy Green, who took over when Carlos Mendoza was fired on Friday. The last-place Mets, who have lost 8 of 9, went 2 for 16 with runners in scoring position and stranded 14 overall. They left the bases loaded in the 5th and the 8th. Up next for him, the lefty Sean Manaea will get the start tonight in Toronto for the opener of a 3-game series against the Blue Jays. First pitch there, scheduled for 7:07 p.m. We're looking ahead to Wednesday night out west at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. 8 p.m. start come Wednesday for Team USA, a round of 32 action in the World Cup. And they will face Bosnia-Herzegovina come Wednesday night. That is your sports, sponsored by Pete Morgan and Peerless Boilers. Go to peerlessboilers.com to find a deal near you. Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers. I'm Justin Ellick on 77 WABC.
Sid and Friends in the Morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The very end, when I was exiting the stage, the curvy couch, Rachel congratulated me on my recent election. I'll be inducted into the Broadcasting Hall of Fame. You're going to hear that a lot, so start complaining now. Go ahead, tweet it, get it out of your system. I'm so sick of hearing Sid talk about himself. I never listen anymore. Well, how'd you know that, dumbass? How did you know I talk about myself if you don't listen anymore, you lying sack of garbage? So you're going to hear it a lot. Just be prepared. I'm warning you. So Rachel congratulates me, and I break into a half Sid Rosenberg epileptic fit into the Trump dance. Did you see that online?
No,
it was cute. I'm not going to lie.
I was deprived of.
You got to see it. First of all, it looked like $1 million. Again, that blue suit I bought at Anthony's, the garage, with the pink shirt and the amazing Middle East tan. And I start dancing. You can check it out on my Instagram, at Rosenberg.Sydney, my Twitter.
What a disgrace.
Thank you, Joe. He's right. At Sid Rosenberg 19, Sid Rosenberg on Facebook, and, of course, Sid Rosenberg on Truth Social. It's cute. I got to say, it's cute. Lisa Glassberg, Lisa G, even posted that last night. But you did hear Joe Benigno there say, what a disgrace. And while I was away, the New York Mets fired Carlos Mendoza. Now, if any of you think this was Mendoza's fault, you know nothing about baseball. It's funny how it works, huh? Bobby Valentine managed the Mets to the World Series in 2000, lost to the Yankees, but got there. By 2002, Bobby Valentine knew nothing about baseball. 2 years ago, Carlos Mendoza was the next coming of Miller Huggins. And now he's fired. It's not him. It's the GM, David Stearns. It's Cohen. It's always the architect of the team. Always. It's a long season, and eventually your talent or lack of gets exposed. And that's the Mets, and has been the Mets now, with or without Pete Alonso. Sorry, for quite some time. They're a mess. So as soon as the Mets fire Mendoza, I'm in Jerusalem. I got to talk to Joe. That's it. WFAN legend, still on every Saturday, and now comes on our show every week. We're so honored to have him. My former midday partner. He's part of the reason why I'm going into the Hall of Fame. The amazing Joe Benigno. Joe, good Monday morning, buddy. How are you?
Bro, first of all, congratulations on your Hall of Fame.
You're next.
Pending induction, number one.
Thank you.
Number two, I texted this yesterday. I'm watching you on the Kirby couch and all of that, you know, smoozing with the Fox and Friends. You know, you looked a little pale. So I just want to tell you, man, you know, you can't. Sid is the only guy that has, like, it's like January 30th, and Sid's got a tan like it's July 10th. You know what I mean, bro?
I know. You did text me that.
My God.
And that blue suit.
Terry was a little worried about you. She, boy, he doesn't look right. What a disgrace.
Listen, there wasn't a cloud in the sky. I think in the 8 days I was in Israel,
wow.
I don't think I saw a cloud. Forget about a cloudy, rainy day. Middle of the summer in the Middle East, it is gorgeous. And so, you know, I'm back, and the weather has been okay here. Not a great weekend, but I did get your text. You were the second person to text me. The first was Brian Kilmeade, who said, and I quote, "You were fantastic. You were honest." Because, you know, these days on Fox News, everything the president does, and I love the president, I'm friendly with the president, so do you. Not everything he does is great. And this Iran war has not been great. It just hasn't. So I think they expected me to come on and be like, oh, yeah, we're kicking ass. We're doing great. And Charlie and Rachel and Griff, it was a great back and forth. They invited me back already as soon as I left. But I think they were a bit surprised, don't you?
Well, I mean, look, I mean, you know, we could go on and on about it. What needs to be done is this war needs to be he needs to finish these disasters off. I mean, it really does. I mean, you know, you got to give him credit for having the balls to go in there and do what he did.
Which
Nobody
I did.
Else ever did.
Which I did give him credit for that. I said,
course.
right?
But now it's time to finish them. There's no diplomacy with these people. That's really the bottom line. I mean, you know, it's pretty obvious, you know, bro.
47 years, it's been pretty obvious, and he keeps trying. And I mentioned him, and I mentioned Vance and Witkoff and of course, Kushner. But the truth is, it's never going to happen. If they sign a piece of paper, you could wipe your ass with it because they're not going to comply. So if you're going to start this thing, does it mean, you know, you heard Rachel Campo, she kept trying to get me on the boots on the ground thing, like I want Americans to die. All I'm saying is, if you're going to start it, you got to finish it. And if it means some boots on the ground, I know my kid's not in the service, but if you're going to start it, you got to finish it. Bottom line.
Yeah, no, I agree, 100%. It's time to get that done. So I'm with you on that. You know, I love Don, but it's time to get it done. And I know he doesn't want to kill people. You even said it yesterday.
Right.
You know, he's a really good guy, even though, you know, he doesn't get credit for that, but he is. And he doesn't want to see people die. He doesn't. But like you said, in war, you know, civilians are going to die. That's just the way it is. It's collateral damage. You hate to say that, but
I mean, Joe, you know history.
You're die when you're
right.
in a war.
You know history as much as anybody, dating back to your family. I mean, how did we end World War II? A lot of innocent Germans and a lot of innocent Japanese died when we dropped 2 atomic bombs.
100%. That's it.
That's it. All right, let me get to this Met manager thing. So I don't know if you know this, but here at the station, my man John Catsimatidis is going to join me next hour.
Right. The great John Catsimatidis.
He is great. Him, along with another great guy, Randy Levine, and the Yankees, we own the Staten Island Ferry Hawks. I don't know if you know this, but our manager right now is Wally Blakeman. He started a couple of days ago. So the Mets fire Mendoza, and the New York Post did a story yesterday mentioning 7 men in particular that could replace him. They mentioned the former Red Sox manager Alex Cora, the former Met player J.D. Martinez, the guy that we all wanted and got screwed, Carlos Beltran, George Lombard, Walker McKibben, Rob Thompson, and Dick Scott. But missing from that list, Wally Blakeman. Now, again, he's working for our club on Staten Island, but a lot of Met fans, as soon as they fired Mendoza, said, now we got to get Wally. What does Joe Benigno think?
I love Wally Blakeman. I would take him in a second. I think he'd be amazing. He'd come in and here's the thing. He'd come in and he'd kick ass and all of that. They're never going to hire him. They're never hiring him. They should. You really think, okay, with David Stearns, with the boy genius who has, single-handedly destroyed my baseball team. Let's be honest. Single-handedly destroyed this baseball team because he thinks he's the smartest guy there is. Okay, remember he went to Harvard. Don't forget. Went to Harvard, Sid. Okay? There's no way he would hire Wally Blakeman. You think Wally Blakeman would ever go work for David Stearns? You think that? First of all, I don't think he ever would. I mean, I know he wants a managerial job, but you want to work for that guy? You want to take orders from him? Like he thinks he knows baseball? I mean, come on. Wally Blackman's an old-school guy. That's he would be I would take him in a nanosecond. But I think he's been blackballed out of baseball, to be very honest.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, I think part of the reason why he took the job with us on Staten Island is he does love baseball. He wants to remain active. But I do think that could be a stepping stone for Wally to get back to the big leagues.
Well, that would be tremendous. Look, I'd take him in a second. Look, get rid of stuff. The first thing that needs to be done, okay, Steve Cohen's got to wake up, okay, get his head out of his ass, stop worrying about your casinos, stop worrying about your hedge fund, stop worrying about your paintings, stop worrying about all that crap, and worry about your baseball team. You made a monumental mistake in letting Pete Alonso go. It was a disaster to me, and the Mets have made a lot of disastrous, letting people and trading people away over the years, okay? To me, this is the worst move since they traded Tom Seaver. This guy was an iconic Met, and look what he's doing in Baltimore, Sid. Look at the numbers. Look at Alonso's numbers. I think he's got 20 homers and like 58 RBIs. He's going to hit 40 homers and drive in 120 runs like he always does. And this idiot Stearns, and all his sabermetric nonsense and his spin rate and his, exit velo and his WAR and all that crap decided, he can't he's not a good fielder. Let's get rid of him. How's the Met fielding been, Sid? They had a game the other day. Sid, you were in Jerusalem.
I saw 6 errors in one game.
I
know.
The infield made 6 freaking errors.
I know.
Come on. What are you kidding me?
That's more than the WFAN softball team made when our infield was Chris Carlin, Sid Rosenberg, Lou Rufino, and Ray Martell.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's 100%. I mean, bro, it's unbelievable. It's an absolute disgrace. Stearns has to go. He's got that look in his eyes. It was the back page of the Post the other day. I told him, I feel like getting a poster of that, and I could put it up downstairs and throw darts at his face, This guy's got to freaking go. I said this from day one. I'm the only guy. Let me tell you right now. And I get no credit for nothing. I never blow my horn. I'm kind of like you, Sid. I'm very humble. So I try to, I try to refrain from ever blowing my horn.
You are funny. I even heard Terry in the background laughing. I love that.
Let me just say this. But seriously, I said this from day one about this guy Stearns. I knew what he was immediately.
You did. You did.
Right?
You were the first one, and you've remained there even when things start to look pretty good. You said, I don't know, the jury's still out.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And he's got to get fired. I want this guy gone. And I'm really concerned that Cohen's going to give him another year. I'm really worried about that.
How? How could he do that?
I don't know. How do you?
They got the worst record in baseball. What are you talking about? He's got to go.
Disgrace.
No. He'll be gone. He'll be gone. According
I hope so, bro.
to our dear
get
friend,
a real general manager in here. Stop getting these guys that these Ivy League educated guys who have no athletic ability at all. Let's be honest, no athletic ability at all. They couldn't play baseball. The only sport they could play is chess. Let's be honest about it. They could move pieces on a chessboard. Okay, you could probably do that.
Yeah.
Okay, but they're so smart that they're going to reinvent baseball. I'm going to reinvent baseball. Batting average doesn't mean anything. RBIs don't mean anything. Wins don't mean anything. You know what I mean, bro? This is the problem with this guy.
Yeah.
Get him the hell out.
Agreed.
And how about this, too? I've been saying this too late. Have you noticed what the Milwaukee Brewers are doing? Like, they are, so much better since Stearns is gone.
Yeah, they got to 50 wins, the quickest in the history of the organization without David. I know. He goes somewhere, they lose. He leaves, they win. A dear friend, John Catsimatidis, just said Wally Backman loves New York City, whether he's managing on Staten Island, our club, the Ferry Hawks, or the Mets. He loves it. But let's assume you're right, and Wally will never get a job with the Mets.
Not with Stearns there.
All right, fine.
Look, I'm all for Backman, but with Stearns there,
okay,
that's not happening.
So let's exclude Wally from the conversation. Of those 7 names I read to you,
Carlos Beltran.
That's what I figured. Yeah.
Carlos Beltran. You know what? And I never loved Beltran when he was with the Mets. I really didn't. I mean, he's on my team and all that. I never loved him.
Joe, let me remind you. Let me remind you. He did strike out against the Cardinals.
Well, I know, but that's not why.
No, I know. But when the Mets signed Carlos Beltran to a $100+ million contract to play center field for the Mets, and they had this huge, it was huge because he was a real star, huge press conference at the old Shea Stadium. Do you remember what WFAN Midday Show did their show live at the Beltran press conference?
Yes. Yeah. Was it me and you?
Me and you, baby. Me and you.
The only one I ever remember is Larry Brown. That was the all-time classic when we did. Who's that girl? Who's that girl from ESPN?
Rachel Nichols.
Oh man, we tried. Well, we said something to her, man. She saw me and you. She couldn't run away fast enough.
I know.
Let me tell you.
I think she ran a complaint to Stephen A. Smith. But I know you never loved him. But he's the right guy for the job, right?
Who are we talking about?
Carlos Beltran.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Well, first of all, Beltran got screwed, bro. Everybody else got away with this Astro cheating scandal, and that's all nonsense too. All these holier-than-thou baseball writers. These guys, forget about it. They're all, all letter of the law. But so don't get me crazy on that between the steroids and all of that crap. But Beltran got screwed. Everybody else is fine. Bregman's playing. Altuve's playing. George Springer is playing. Cora got another job, even though he got fired in Boston. A.J. Hinch is back managing the Tigers. Everybody's back except Beltran. It's a joke. Beltran, he should have he did get the job one time, and then they let him go because of that in 2 days. Beltran should be the guy. They're going to retire his number. He's going into the Hall of Fame. Beltran should be the next Met manager.
I agree. 60 seconds. I spoke to you more than anybody. Craig Carton, a close second, but you more than anyone leading up to this Knick win because you've been dying for this. You were there from day one with the Knicks, even before they won in '69. I was so happy for you when the Knicks won. Yeah. Now the talk is, will Jalen Brunson, who I spent time with at Yankee Stadium the day before I went to Israel, him and Josh Hart, amazing job by Randy Levine, will those guys go visit President Trump at the White House? Do you care?
Yes. Oh, of course. I want him to go. You know what? Look, this is obviously this is my team. I'll always love this team. This team did something that I never thought I'd see again. 53 years they slayed the dragon and all of that. Let me say this. These guys are very likable. They're all, I think, not good guys. I think they're good guys on this team. I really do. All of these guys. Rise above the noise. Stop listening to Whoopi Goldberg. Stop listening to Joyless Reed. Stop listening to these people, okay, that are saying, well, you can't go, you can't do this, go there. Rise above it. What are they going to do to you? What are you going to do if you go to the White House? Take the championship away? No. You think all these people, Ben Stiller, Spike, and all these people, you think they're going to stop going to Knicks games and sitting in their front row seats because the Knicks went to the White House? Absolutely not. Rise above it. Show, what kind of guys you are, and go to the damn White House and see the president. Dolan's going. I don't know about Mike Brown because Mike Brown, he was with Steve Kerr. He was with Popovich. Those guys, please don't get me going on them. But, go to the damn White House. Rise above the noise and do the right thing. And you know what? Maybe Spike will go, and he could wear his Pope Leo jersey. Right?
He's such an idiot.
Yeah,
Okay.
right? Can't you see Spike going to shake hands with Don with his Pope Leo the
Never.
14th freaking jersey on?
Never. So do you think they will go, though?
Boy, you know, I don't know. I think it's 50-50. I don't know. I hope so. I hope so, Sid. I mean, how can I don't know. I mean, you know, there's a lot of noise out there.
Yeah.
And like I said, they need to rise above that and go do the right thing. Okay. They really do.
All right, so on the way out, make me one promise. I know you don't usually come to New York City, and that was starting with COVID, and now I guess you fear for your life. I don't mind.
Nothing to do with COVID. It's just, you know, I commuted there for all those years, Sid. You know.
I know. I get it. But make me a promise that on that October day at the Rainbow Room in New York City, when I am inducted, that you will be there.
You know what, bro? For you, I will go. I will go. I'll look spectacular.
Beautiful.
I'll see. Well, it'll be October, so my tan will be fading by that point. You know, I got a pretty good tan right now. I was at the pool all day. Yes. By the way, it's going to be like 100 degrees this week.
I know.
All right.
Yeah.
So I was at the pool yesterday. I got a pretty good tan. Not quite yours. Not quite yours. Because you got that like Israeli desert.
Yes.
You know,
you can't be. You can't.
Italian olive oil,
right.
But you got that Israeli desert.
Yes,
oil.
I do. You can't get that in Mahwah, New Jersey, but it'll be beautiful. So good. You're going to come and take your beautiful.
You know,
take Terry
you,
too. Please
and
take
you deserve it. And
Thank
bro,
you.
Let me tell you right now, you deserve it.
Thank you.
You know, you should really have me give the speech to induct you.
Let's talk after the show. Funny you say that. I'll call you at 10 o'clock. Okay.
All right. Well, okay, yeah, because I'm running around. I'm going to play golf. But call me at some point, and we'll talk about that.
Okay, I love you to pieces. And Terry, too, thank you for doing another great job on the show this morning. My audience loves you, and so do I. Thank you, Joe.
Bro, all the love. God bless.
The great Joe Benigno. He'll be in the Hall of Fame next. I promise you next year. I guarantee you, Joe Benigno next year will be the next Hall of Famer. Because he deserves to be there, too. What a great guy. And he still does his Saturday shows on WFAN, and now he's here once a week. We'll take a break. Nomi's got the news.
How many people are you promising this?
Oh, my God. They promised me a table of 10. I believe at last count I've invited 31 people. So somebody's got to get a message to David.
So what is that now? Joe jumped ahead of me, actually?
No, I didn't tell him yes just now, did I?
You said we'll talk.
We'll talk. So
right.
I'm gonna talk and say can't do it because Lou's doing it.
Right, but that's what you told me last week. Like you're going to do it for me. You're going to bring me, and it's okay if I'm not.
No.
No, he should.
No. Lou should.
Yes.
Of course.
So wait, who are the 10, just out of curiosity, that you would, if like right now you had to choose 10
Well, there are
people
5 for sure.
Okay, who are they?
Danielle.
Right.
You've heard of her, right?
Mm-hmm.
My daughter Ava.
Well, this is sitting.
Is this okay?
This is your table you're talking
For sure. Right.
Okay.
Well, I get a table of 10, but right now I need 3 tables at least.
Right.
So I've got Danielle, Ava, Gabriel, and Naomi, my mother.
Right.
Perfect.
And then I'm going to have a chair. You think I'm kidding, but I'm not.
Oh, I know. What
Much like Elijah during Passover, who's not there. I'm going to have a chair that I'm keeping empty for my father.
Oh, that's nice.
Very good.
Thank you. So those 5 are 100%. After that, everybody wants to come because I'm the most popular radio guy in New York. And whether it's sports or news or everybody's been a part of it. You know, it's my career. It's kind of like Forrest Gump. I've touched everybody in this city. Right. And in Miami, too. I got guys in Miami. They're like, we'll fly up. We'll come. I got Deirdre Imus and Wyatt Imus. They're going to come in from Texas. I'm not even kidding you. This is going to be a mess.
Okay, well, they're not at your table, though.
No, they'll be at a different table.
Right.
But they will absolutely cancel this after this year. There's no question about it. They'll shut it down. I mean, they haven't seen the likes of this. You know, Bill Evans, sweet guy, made it last year. Deserved great Hall of Famer. What do you think came for Bill Evans? I got like 40 people coming. It may be 100 by the time we get to October.
It's just started, too.
Well, but
just started.
You didn't answer, though. Who were the other 5?
Well, I mean,
you.
Right, we got to be at the table.
And Lewis.
Right.
And John Catsimatidis.
You can put me under the table.
Justin.
Well, you're going to be there
Margot.
eventually.
I got to have John and Margot. I got to have Chad.
You do, yeah. There's 3 more.
I'm not in New York if not for Chad. I love John and Margot dearly. He knows that, John. He's on today. But the truth is, he wasn't here. It was that terrible Cumulus company that Chad Lopez took his chances on me. He's been my guy. So it's a lot of people that, there's no way I could have one table of 10. That's ridiculous. How do you do that? There's just no way.
No, that's not the way it's looking right now. You
No.
didn't even scratch the surface.
Yeah. I got to text Trump. Bibi?
God.
Yeah, the next time you're going to see Trump and Bibi together, I'm going to be at my Hall of Fame induction. They could both be sitting right there at the table next to me.
When is this thing?
October.
Oh, so we have time to figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. So do they.
So it could change. This table could change a couple times.
100%.
What's going on?
Somebody pisses me off, you're out, and somebody else is in. This is kind of be like, remember Studio 54? Steve Rubell used to stand outside and pick who's coming in and who's not?
Well, you're going to have a bouncer person sit
Right.
there and go, wait a second.
You're
which
in,
table?
you're out.
No, hold on.
Exactly.
You got moved to table 8.
What about Bill
from 2.
O'Reilly? I got to put Bill O'Reilly
Yeah,
there.
of course.
Right?
You got to put Pete.
Pete Morgan?
yeah.
Yes.
100% Pete Morgan. So I don't know what I'm going to do. It's good.
Well, we're going to have to start making a priority list.
It's not going to be easy, Louis. There's no way we can't have just one table. I don't know what David has to do. You got to figure it out. Like wipe out the Odyssey table or the Clear Channel table.
Are you kidding?
Tell Mark Simone to stay home.
Well, I have my own class anyway. I could get right into those things.
Tomorrow is this big Barrett. Barrett Media does this one big conference a year like Talkers Magazine, and I always speak at it. It's a big deal, So does John, others. So tomorrow they're doing it again. They're now doing 2 a year. Barrett Media. They write about me every day. Every day. They're great. Garrett Seawright, Jason Barrett. So tomorrow Chad Lopez is getting an award. Congratulations. Well deserved. And they gave Mark Simone the broadcasting Hall of Fame type of thing. I don't know. They gave him some type of lifetime award. Mark Simone. I love Mark.
He deserves that, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
He's good, yes.
Mark is good.
Yeah, I just said it,
Yeah.
yes.
I'm happy for him. He's a nice guy.
But back to this table thing, this could get very ugly.
Very ugly.
Yeah.
People are going to get angry.
It's already getting ugly.
I know. And I just found out about this 5 days ago. So, I don't know. Just text me if you want to come and we'll see what we can do.
Oh, that's a good idea. Open it up. What a brilliant move you just made.
Sid and Friends in the morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Later on in the show, I want to tell you about a very special Saturday night that the Rosenbergs have planned this weekend. And Lou and MJ were almost a part of it. We'll get to that. But I got so many guests still stopping by. We've heard from Bobby Hartmann today. And, of course, Bobby, he runs Mainstream House out in Riverhead, Long Island. And today is their annual golf tournament awards dinner. I speak every year. My brothers and sisters in recovery. Bobby was on. Joe Benigno was on. Still to come, we'll talk to the Cake Girl. She was on with Savannah Guthrie Friday. She was on Fox News yesterday. She's coming in here today. She loves the show. Mark Chernoff, maybe the most famous radio executive ever. He'll be coming on later on today.
Wow, this is crazy.
Huge. John Catsimatidis, Mike LiPetri coming up next. He's running against Tom Swazi again, and Lara Trump.
Sid and Friends in the morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
LiPetri, of course, has become a friend of mine over the years, and I'm enthusiastically endorsing Mike, District 3, Long Island, for Congress. Michael, good morning. How are you, pal?
Good morning, sunshine. Young and handsome. I like that.
Yeah.
Welcome back to America. How was Israel?
It was beautiful.
Isn't it?
Beautiful.
Tel Aviv is one of my favorite spots. Amazing.
I was only one day there. I spent a week in Jerusalem.
Yes.
But I tell all the Jew haters, there's a lot of them, we're surrounded by him. They're stupid.
Especially now.
Yeah. Just go. Go for a week. Learn something. Stop listening to J.D. Vance and other people on TV and Tucker and all these people. Go there 1 week, and I promise you, you'll come back, you won't sound nearly as hateful and stupid, and you'll realize that Bibi does a great job protecting a place about the size of Jersey that the whole world at this point wants to destroy.
Yeah, I mean, the place is absolutely gorgeous. I was there for the World Summit for Counterterrorism in Israel, Herzliya, Jerusalem,
Nice.
Tel Aviv, beautiful
Nice,
spots.
yeah.
I mean, it's truly a great spot.
So last time I spoke to you, I was at Yankee Stadium. I was walking in. That was the night where Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart threw out the first pitch. It was the day before I went to Jerusalem. I also saw you, talking about Israel, at the Israeli Day Parade in New York City.
Yes.
You did a nice video. So here you are. We're getting closer to this big election. You ran a great race last time. You lost by just 3 points, 51-48. what makes you confident that this time you'll make up those 3 points?
Well, Sid, if you remember, we came within just a small percentage points despite having a short runway, being underfunded, we over-delivered. So now we're one of the top target seats in the nation, right here in New York 3, right on Long Island, Northeast Queens. Those are the top districts that people are excited about. They're looking forward to the next generation common sense Republican. And more pointedly is you're looking at us as the contrast to what you're seeing from the Democrat Party. June 23rd, primary day, we crushed it with over 82% of the vote, despite having our opponent spend over $1 million against us. Democrats, conversely, had radical socialists now win in New York City. So the question is, who do you want the next generation to be? You want it where it's focusing on protecting our country, the land of the free, the home of the brave, standing up for veterans, American citizens, still illegal aliens, or the socialists who want to take from you, defund the police, and ultimately espouse socialism across our country? I think the choice is obvious here.
I think it is, too. And, Mike, the one thing I've learned about Suozzi is he's a pretty smooth guy. And he's a nice guy. I know Tom. He's a nice guy. But I'm not talking about the politician, okay? The politician, when he's campaigning, makes everybody feel like he's on their team. Like he almost runs as a Republican, whether against you, Mazi Phillip in the past. He almost runs as a Republican. Then he wins, and then you see what a dangerous Democrat he really is. But he's smooth in that while he's running, you think he's a common sense guy. When it comes down to business, he's really not, right?
Well, it's a Democrat playbook. I mean, they'll say exactly what you want to hear. And then, as you said, Two-Faced Tom votes behind your back. I mean, it's the truth because you see it firsthand. When Republicans put keeping boys out of girls' sports, he votes no, right? When Republicans push voter ID, he votes no. When Republicans push tax cuts, he votes no. And then in the meantime, all this time, Tom Suozzi's making $10 million trading stocks while in Congress. So he says one thing and then does another. That's just who Tom is. But that's the two-faced side of him. That's the Democrat way, is get everybody to like them. Look at Mamdani, did the same thing, says everything you want to hear, and then when it comes time to get into office, he screws you. And at the end of the day, what do you want? If you vote for my Democrat opponent, then you are empowering these socialists in New York City because they rule the Democratic Conference, and that's not what we want to see.
Why does Nassau County, Mike LiPetri, do so well? What I mean is, it's mostly Democrat. In fact, some of these cities, towns, I should say, not even close. Not even close. Yet, you guys win. Right? I know that Anthony D'Esposito lost last time around, but hopefully our new friend is going to win this time, Driscoll. You ran a very great race against Tom Suozzi. Lolota wins. Garbarino wins. And I know a lot of it has to do with the machine that is run by Joe Cairo, Peter King. Those guys are irreplaceable. They're amazing. But why do you think, overwrought by Democrats, you guys have success in Nassau County?
It's common sense, baby. That's what we espouse. I mean, I have the support, especially now. I spoke with President Trump. He's all in on this seat. He's excited for us. He realizes what we did 2 years ago without any of his support. So now he's all in.
I actually saw that firsthand when I went a couple of weeks ago to Mike Lawler's big rally up in Rockland County. You were sitting in the front row with Blakeman, Lawler, Lutnick, all those guys. Yeah. And President Trump pointed you out.
Yeah. President Trump, he knows what's at stake. I mean, the House majority is the fate. And frankly, on Long Island specifically, we have people that are just looking to raise families, work hard, play by the rules, make a living, and live a great life. And they know that Republicans are the ones to help guide them in those principles to make their lives better. And we just stand up for the easy stuff. So ultimately, that's what we've been doing. We've made it clear as day. We provided a great contrast, giving the people someone to vote for instead of vote against. And ultimately, people keep voting for us.
Trump has been great to you, and also the Vice President, J.D. Vance, right?
Vice President came to the district just 2 weeks ago.
The day I spoke to you.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That was great. And a matter of just hearing, when you hear from the president, when you hear from the vice president, you talk to them personally and they recognize not only who we are as the candidate, but also how this district is built and comprised of and how close we came. When you realize that the team is all in with not only president, vice president, then I get the great Sid Rosenberg all in on us. Get ready, baby. We're ready to win.
That's big.
That's big.
Because don't forget, those guys are in D.C., they're in Mar-a-Lago,
I'm the guy in New York, right?
That's
I'm
right.
doing your fighting for you. What is the biggest, and I love you, so I'm happy to do it.
Thanks, Bob.
What is the biggest, I guess, policy difference between you and Swazi, the biggest one? Because I know that taxes still remain an issue, obviously. Crime, thank God, is not terrible. It's actually good because you've got the best police commissioner around. He's amazing, Pat Ryder. You've got people who actually respect the law like Ann Donnelly. So law and order on Nassau County is as good as it gets. What is the biggest policy difference?
For us, it's affordability. It comes down to I'm the only one that has skin in the game in this race. I'm the next generation. I'm 36 years old. I'm engaged.
Well, you're not 36 yet. You'll be 36 July 10th. I do my homework.
All right, Sid. I
pretty good, right?
Yeah, you're
pretty
really good. I appreciate that. Well, give me an early happy birthday or
happy
something.
Birthday.
All right?
I also know the Mets just lost to the Phillies, and God rest his soul, your grandfather.
Yeah.
He actually pitched for the Phillies in the 1950s.
Yeah, he did.
How about that?
Room with Satchel Paige. It was an amazing experience. My late grandfather, God rest his soul. He was a Democrat that said I'd be the Republican that he'd vote for. Oh. That's for sure.
Angelo, right?
Yeah, Michelangelo LiPetri was.
What a great name.
Great name. And
yeah.
I'm honored to be his grandson and follow in his footsteps and make him proud for what he's looking down on us.
God bless him.
Yeah.
So the affordability crisis, is it a big one?
So it's affordability. It's about the next generation. It's keeping the next generation on Long Island. It's raising families, buying homes. It's a matter of it's creating jobs, what I want to do instead of finding jobs. My opponent voted not only as county executive raised taxes by $200 million, but he voted for the largest tax increase in history since World War II. He's also, after Mamdani got elected, he called to raise our taxes on the federal level even higher. So, and meanwhile, he's made $10 million trading stocks while in Congress. So you have him, or you have Mike LiPetri, the former state assemblyman attorney who voted for tax cuts, who actually has skin in the game. I'm renting right now, looking to buy a home. I'm looking to raise a family. I'm looking to get married. I have all the qualities that understand what we need in life to help the next generation stay and thrive on Long Island.
What town do you live in?
I live over in Farmingdale.
Oh, Farmingdale.
Yeah, Farmingdale boy, baby.
I used to go to the Salty Dog in Farmingdale years ago. Do you have a girlfriend?
Fiance.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
so you're looking to get married?
So I'm looking to get married. That's it. So we're looking to do that next year.
Oh, wow.
And I'm excited for what's ahead of us. But first, we got to win this November and make sure we have a next generation millennial that's going to be in there to combat and contrast with the psychos from the left that's taking over now.
No question. So many important people will wrap this up on Long Island. I need to win. I need you to win. I need Driscoll to win. And for the state's sake, we need Bruce Blakeman to win.
Bruce Blakeman is key. That he's going to be at the top of the ticket for us. He's right now leading in our district by 9 points in this area with us versus Swazi. We're head to head. This is the race to watch. The road to the majority runs through New York 3. People can follow me on social media at Mike LiPetri, or go to my website, MikeLiPetri4Congress.com.
You're ready. I can see it. You were great last time. You came with experience. Like you said, you were assemblyman 2019 to 2021. You gave it a run against Andrew Garbarino. This time, I see a seasoned veteran. No disrespect to the last time.
No,
but
it's all about.
You're ready.
It's all about the growth.
You're ready.
It's all about the evolution, the growth, people. How I look at it is constructive criticism, building on the qualities to make sure you're better, make sure you're a better advocate, a better representative, and ultimately ready to win this seat come November.
God bless you. You're great. Mike LiPetri, ladies and gentlemen, District 3 out on Long Island, running against Two-Face Tom Swazi. Keep Nassau County the best county in America and continue to strive to make America great again with a Mike LiPetri win come November. Thanks, pal.
Thanks, bud.
Good to see you. It's my buddy Mike LiPetri. We'll stay in Nassau County.
Sid and Friends in the morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Congratulations, Sid. This is a big deal. The I-Man would be so proud of you. I guess all those years of him screaming at you finally paid off. The New York State Broadcasters Hall of Fame. Pretty good.
Mark Chernoff, man who ran WFAN for, 40 years. He'll be here this morning. Lara Trump will be here. John Catsimatidis, the Kate Girl. Let me talk to my buddy, though, currently the Nassau County executive. But he will be the next governor here in New York because God loves us. And God will not allow this wicked witch, this wretched, vile Kathy Hochul, continue to destroy our state. So here comes, on his white horse, my guy, Bruce Blakeman. White hair, white horse. Good morning, Brucey.
Hey, Sid, how are you? I'm not used to talking to a Hall of Famer. This is special.
God, I love you. I'm not used to being a Hall of Famer, so we're even.
Listen, you are a Hall of Famer.
Look who's talking. Thank you, Bruce. And I thought about you a lot last week. We did correspond a couple of times, being in the beautiful country of Israel. And I keep saying the same thing all morning long. For you Jew haters out there, which are multiplying by the day, you think it's kind of cool? It's not cool. You're hateful and you're stupid. I recommend you go there, spend a week in Israel, and you'll come back with a completely different point of view. What do you think, Bruce?
Well, listen, it is a country that is a democracy. They have human rights. They have an independent judiciary. They have religious freedom. They have all the things that we have here in America, and that's what makes Israel great. And the people are great. And the fact of the matter is, Sid, that people are in two categories when they criticize Israel and their right to exist. There are the people who are uneducated, and we have a shot at educating them. And as you said, go to Israel, see for yourself. And then there are evil people. Those people we can't change. We have to destroy them.
Agreed. And Bibi has such a difficult job. I don't get the criticism. It's fine. You know, talking about people who don't think Israel has a right to exist, that's what our disgusting mayor thinks. So I made a big mistake a couple of months ago. I revoked it. Just so you know, Bruce Blakeman, I revoked it in front of 1,000 people on stage in Jerusalem, the same night that Bibi Netanyahu spoke. I revoked my apology to Mamdani because I gave this guy months and months to prove me wrong, and everything I said in that tweet was right. He's a disgusting person, a vile, Jew-hating, disgusting person. But now he wants you to apologize. He's actually calling on you to apologize for your words about Brad Lander, which, much like my tweet, were 1,000% correct. Brad Lander is another lowlife. Do you have any intention of apologizing to Brad Lander?
Absolutely not. When this guy stands on a stage with Mamdani and Chevalier, two people who support the concept of river to the sea, which basically is exterminate all the people in Israel and run them into the sea, he is a collaborator. He is somebody that stands with them. And basically, he gives a certain amount of legitimacy because he was born Jewish. So people will say, well, Mamdani can't be that bad. Chevalier can't be that bad. Brad Lander stands with them. He's Jewish. Well, that's why I called him out, because we can't have that facade that there is an air of legitimacy because Brad Lander stands with them. Brad Lander is a collaborator. He's a traitor. He's un-American. And, you know, Sid, I want to just clarify one thing that I don't think we talk enough about. This isn't just about the Jewish people. It's not just about the state of Israel. Think about Mamdani canceling the Puerto Rican Day breakfast. He canceled that breakfast because there were people in that room, many of whom are devout Christians, that he didn't want to associate with.
That's right.
And I tell my Christian friends all the time, the Jews are the appetizer. Christians are the main course. These people want to destroy America and American values, which were bred and born and nurtured under the foundation of Judeo-Christian work ethic and principles. And that is the foundation of our country. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, James Madison, James Monroe, and Alexander Hamilton, the great New Yorker. And people may not know this, but Haim Solomon, a Jewish financier, he financed the last months of the war against Great Britain, the Revolutionary War. And he did that and went broke supporting the United States of America. We never would have won the war if it weren't for Haim Solomon. We should remember that, because there are people who say, well, what were the Jewish contributions to America? Well, Haim Solomon was the first, and he was the biggest because he financed Washington's army. You can look that up.
No, well said. You're 100% right. So Brad Lander is a Nazi. There were Jews that were called capos who worked alongside the Nazis World War II. He's not the only one. Chuck Schumer marching with the gays yesterday. He's another one. Jamie Raskin, Jerry Nadler. There's a whole bunch of them. You know, even Goldman wasn't. I'm not going to call him a Nazi, Dan Goldman, but he wasn't exactly a great friend of the Jews either during his run.
Yeah, but Goldman stood tall. I give Goldman credit. You know, there are very few things that Goldman and I could agree upon, but he did stand tall when he talked about Israel's right to exist as a Jewish state.
He did. Yeah.
So,
yeah, he did.
You know, I've got to give credit. It's like Barack Obama. I philosophically, I'm 180 degrees opposite Barack Obama, but to this day, I will give him credit for pulling the trigger on killing Osama bin Laden. You have to give credit where it belongs. We have a lot of differences, but when Democrats do right, we have to applaud them for that, so that they'll continue to do right.
Well, you got to point it out because it never happens. You got to point it out. By the way, Mamdani, not just a Puerto Rican Day breakfast, he also found a way to include, radical Islam during his speech on St. Patrick's Day. He's walked past the Christopher Columbus statue, giving it the finger for the Italians out there. So, yes, it's not just about the Jews. Mamdani hates everybody unless you're Muslim, and specifically radical Islam. But let's get to the governor, because that's who you're running against. I know Mamdani is part of that because she's so afraid of the mayor that she will do whatever he wants. But I heard you talk to John Catsimatidis yesterday and speak about some of the issues, which include taxes, regulations, utility bills, obviously law and order and safety. I guess those are the big issues in your run against this horrible governor.
You know, it's funny, Sid, the other day I was in the Bronx and I was talking to people in the neighborhood, and I came upon this guy. And I'm talking to him, and he says, I'm a socialist. I said, really? He goes, yeah. I said, well, what do you think of Hochul? He goes, I don't know that much about her, but I like her. And I said, well, do you like higher taxes? He goes, no. I said, do you like more crime in neighborhoods? He goes, no. I said, do you like higher electric bills? He goes, no. I said, well, that's what you've gotten under Kathy Hochul. So by the end of my conversation, the guy's like, I'm going to vote for you. We got to educate people. I met with a bunch of Dominicans in the Bronx also. Just wonderful people, hardworking people, good Christians, good values. They love America. They're the kind of immigrants that we need in America. But Kathy Hochul has made us the most overtaxed, overregulated state. We're at number 50 in economic development, 50. I mean, that is an embarrassment for the once great Empire State.
So what?
And she's pro-criminal.
So she's pro-criminal. That's right. So what can she boast? I mean, I want to fast forward this all the way to that debate, right? So you hit the stage, and you can highlight 10 things. I'm being nice. 10 things that have gone really bad here in New York. What can she possibly boast?
She can't, and that's why I don't believe I don't think she'll debate me. Listen, Kathy Hochul, if you're listening, and I know you have people that listen to Sid because you want to hear what we're all saying. Kathy Hochul, I will debate you every 3 weeks, every 2 weeks, every week, every day from now till Election Day. Let's get on stage. Let's put it on radio and television, social media. Let people hear your record of failure compared with my record of making Nassau County the safest county in America, not raising taxes a penny in 4 years. In fact, cutting a $150 million tax increase in my predecessor, and hiring more cops, removing 2,000 illegal migrants with criminal records from attempted murder to rape to burglary and robbery, drug dealing, and gang activity. And you criticize me for that. Where do you want to put those 2,000 criminals, Kathy Hochul? And you spent $8.5 billion of our tax money on people who aren't New Yorkers, who came here and within 15 minutes they got free food, free housing, free transportation, and a free cell phone when New Yorkers are struggling, when they're struggling with affordability. I will create jobs, better paying jobs with better benefits. I will create economic activity. I will cut taxes, and I will cut your electric bill in half because I will get rid of the green energy scam that Kathy Hochul has inflicted upon all of us.
Has she intimated that she's not going to debate you? I mean, I do it right here. I'm not biased. Obviously, I am. But she said she's not going to do it?
Every time I offer to debate her, she ignores it.
Wow. But she has to. Doesn't she legally have to do it at least once?
No, she didn't take matching funds.
Oh, boy.
So
right.
She didn't take matching funds. That was the first indication that she didn't want to debate. How could she possibly get on a stage and try to defend the fact that we're number 50 in economic development? Our electric bills are 70% higher than the national average. How can she get on the podium and debate the fact that we are the most overtaxed state in the United States? The fact that hundreds of thousands of people have left this state. The fact that businesses have left and taken jobs from this state. We are in a death spiral. And if I'm not elected, I fear for the future of the young people in this state because they will have no future under Kathy Hochul.
You know, on the way out, it's interesting. When you started these discussions, and I was there at the very beginning. I was. You came to me right away, early on, when what's her name up in the northern part of the state? She's in Congress. What the hell's her name? She dropped out because she can't beat you. What's her name? Come on.
Oh, Elise Stefanik?
Right, when she was running and Mike Lawler was still considering running, and you and I had these discussions early on about possibly running and what you thought your chances were. And now it's you. You're the guy. And you just said you fear for this state if you don't win. And I'm going to be honest, Bruce. I hear every day, we're done if Bruce doesn't win. Not if LiPetri doesn't win. Not if Driscoll doesn't win. Not even if Brad Lander wins. We're done if Bruce doesn't win. Is that an intense amount of pressure on you every day? Because if I hear it, you got to hear it.
Yes, it is. It's a tremendous responsibility, but it's one that I will gladly take up. And I will sacrifice for my kids and my grandkids so they can live the type of life in New York State that my parents and my grandparents provided for me, my brother, and my three sisters. So, yes, it's a fight worth fighting. Is there a tremendous amount of pressure? Obviously, yes. It's a big responsibility, but it's one that I am glad to take on for the future of our state.
Thank God we have you. I mean this. And I really do feel in my heart of hearts, not because you're my brother, that you're going to win because you're out there. I even see you. Did I see you on CNN last week? Did I see that?
Yes, you did.
Beautiful.
Belly of the beast.
You got to go. And you're all over the state, and you're doing a great job. You've really done a tremendous job juggling both, still being a very, very good Nassau County executive and campaigning at the same time. I'm proud of you. I love you. And we are going to win. Bruce Blakeman, once again, thank you so much.
God bless you, Sid. Thanks so much.
God bless you. There he is, the next governor of New York, the current Nassau County executive, Bruce Blakeman. Still to come, Mark Chernoff is going to be here. The Cake Girl makes her debut on Sid and Friends in the morning. Lara Trump and John Catsimatidis. All that.
Sid and Friends in the morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Let me talk to my main man, my great buddy John Catsimatidis. Did a phenomenal job filling in for me last week, him and the whole crew. About 5 guys.
It took 5 of us.
Yeah, you guys were great, though.
It took 5 of us to fill in for you, Sid.
No, you did great. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Did you come in this morning from the Hamptons? Or
No. I had to go to the eye doctor this morning. I made... I had a 7:30 meeting, and he dilated my eyes, and I hate that. You know, you don't get your eyes back until in the afternoon.
Really?
Yeah.
So can you see me right now?
Oh, I could see you, yeah, right. But don't ask me to read anything.
All right. Well, I started this morning with Benigno because he's a big Mets fan, and the Mets fired their manager Carlos Mendoza last week, and a lot of Met fans in this city said, "Okay, I want Wally Backman next." I said, "Well, there's a problem."
I got Wally. I got him.
You right now are Wally Backman's boss, and you were with Wally Backman on Staten Island yesterday.
Yes, we went to Staten Island yesterday. It was a beautiful day in Staten Island. The stadium was beautiful. The team was beautiful. And Wally, we spent time with Wally. We spent time with the team members. And it's a great venue. And we're looking to make it just not only a baseball. We want to do soccer. We want to do entertainment facility. We want to do opera, singing, rock and roll, whatever it is.
Nice.
And the one thing is, the city is taking over the stadium the next 4 or 5 days, and they're doing soccer. And they're inviting. I guess the tickets are already given out. We're going to have like 7,000, 10,000 people every day.
Wow.
At the stadium.
Is it part of the FIFA deal? No.
New York City has done it on their own, I believe.
On their own, okay.
And they took one location in Staten Island, which is us.
Right.
And they took one in Manhattan, one in the Bronx, one in Brooklyn, one in Queens, just to give out free tickets. Isn't that way socialism is?
Yes, everything's free. That's very nice. So I guess the Furry Hawks are on the road, obviously.
You talk about Mark Simone before. He's one of our co-hosts on our Police Athletic League lunches. And we had lunch. We waited till you were out of town. Sid,
I noticed that.
To have a Police Athletic League lunch with the mayor.
It was the day I was leaving.
Yeah.
It was that day.
And Mark made a lot of jokes, and it is what it is.
No, he was good. You know, it's funny. Yeah. I've been to that luncheon with you once before. You were kind enough to take me, with Mark Simone hosting it. And that day, they were honoring Kathy Hochul.
Well, she's coming back, I think.
I mean, here you are, Mr. New York. I'm being serious.
Yeah.
I'm not blowing smoke up your ass, patronizing you. We're past that point, you and I, okay? You're Mr. New York. You stay here despite the fact you can live any place.
Right. I love New York. I love the people in New York.
But all these people are killing us, John. They're killing us.
New Yorkers have to realize. We lost 3, and I talked to our friend in Washington. We lost 3 seats to socialism. So what does this mean? There's a fight. First of all, the big fight is between the regular Democratic Party nationally, how they're going to be looked at. They're going to be looked at as the leaders of the pack are going to be New Yorkers. Will it be Mamdani? Will it be AOC? And Fetterman is up in arms about it. And Joe Manchin, I talked to Joe Manchin before. He'll probably come on my show tonight. And he's a big Democrat from where was he? West Virginia.
West Virginia. Yeah.
And there's going to be a war, a civil war between the Democratic Party within itself. The socialists, they're saying the socialists have to run on their own socialist ticket, and the Democrats are Democrats. And let's see what happens.
They're going to lose. Joe Manchin, Fetterman better switch parties today. I'm telling you right now. They're going to lose. I got news for you. What happened here in New York last week, you just talked about it. Those 3 socialists winning. You know what helps? AOC in her run for the presidency.
AOC.
That's crazy as that sounds.
AOC will probably run for the Senate first.
You think so? Against Schumer, right.
Against Schumer.
Right. And she'll beat him.
And that's what, but see what it is? The mistake we make, and I've told that to people, is we're the ones talking about him. Every channel, whether it's CBS, NBC, even Fox, we're making them more famous every day by contributing to their fame.
But they're winning.
But we're helping.
Yeah, we are. You're right.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of like when we talk about people who commit horrible crimes. Right? The kid who walks into a school.
We make him more famous.
Yeah, we do. You're right.
Luigi. We make him more famous.
You're right.
The women are standing online to meet him.
They are. All kidding aside. You're right about. Why do we do that?
Listen, the media has to, and I've told this to a couple of big media executives, the media has to come to a reality. It comes back down to, you know what it comes back down to, Sid? The left wing or whatever, and I never use those words. They hire these 200 people, pay them $100,000, $200,000, and they end up getting a zillion dollars worth of publicity because every channel plays it. Okay? Every channel plays it. And that's the reality check. And if we did the same thing, we got to do it the other way around.
Yeah, we got to stop. You're right.
And every channel has to play that too.
Yeah, no, it's true. Tell me about your interview yesterday with the Cuban ambassador, because we keep waiting for some of this Iran stuff to stop, because honestly, the country's had enough.
Well,
another ceasefire today. John, I'm telling you, the country's had enough. Enough.
I have always been very friendly with the Cuban people ever since we built that church in Havana.
Well, tell me about this. You built the church?
Yes. I personally didn't build it. Castro built it for us.
Gotcha.
But we built it in 1990, and we had the patriarch come from Constantinople, and we had the archbishop come, and we had 2,000 guests went down there. And King Constantine, who was friends with Castro, says, you burned down our church. So Castro says to him, I'll build you a new one. And he built a new church for us in 1990, 91, something like that. And we went down there to consecrate the church. And I was there next to Castro when the patriarch put a cross around his neck, and Castro accepted it.
Wow.
So I've been very friendly with the Cuban people. So they asked me, well, he's a communist. What do you mean? He accepted the Christian cross. I said, the closer to 90 years old you get, the more religion you get.
That's true. Yeah.
It's very true.
You
very
start
true.
loving God, every God.
And the fact is, they came to me and said that we want to speak. I said, oh, look, WABC, well, we allow Israeli ambassador to speak.
Sure.
We allow everybody to speak. So there was a very beautiful interview yesterday. And what they want is they want peace. They want to do everything that I think to interpret the conversation. It's on the WABC website, I'm sure. They bottom line, they want to survive as a party,
of course,
and cooperate 110% with President Trump,
because we
and
can
the
help
American
them.
people.
Yeah, they're dying there.
He says they want to do everything. They want to cooperate and they want to survive, and they want to have mutual cooperation. So look, it is what it is. I mean, they're 90 miles off our coast.
They're right there.
We're better off having them as friends than as enemies.
100%.
And by the way, the Cuban people are, by and large, very hardworking people, very loving people. And we got to make peace between the American Cubans and the Cuban Cubans.
Agreed.
Because the Cuban Cubans did what they did because they had to survive.
They had no choice. What
else did you want to ask?
I lived in Miami for a long time.
Now you're talking about Iran.
Well, people have had enough, John. That's it. I don't know what to tell you.
Nobody wants war, but this is what. Well, the good news is Lebanon made peace with Israel yesterday.
Yeah,
and it was a good move. The stock market is at an all-time high. Now, you think you're right. Other people think you're right. Other people think you're wrong. Let's take the big picture. The Dow Jones average is 52,500.
Yeah.
I predicted 60,000 for the Dow Jones average.
Right.
I predicted lower interest rates. Everything I've said about oil has happened.
Yes.
Crude oil is down to 69. I haven't looked at it the last hour or so. It was 69 this morning. So everything I predicted has always happened. So who is right? The people that are investing trillions and trillions of dollars in the markets, or the people yelling in the streets?
Well, for the people investing trillions in the markets,
happens.
But remember, the people, the stock market is great. It's fantastic. It's not an indicator.
Your 401k plan is doing great.
Yeah, it's not an indicator of how most Americans are doing. They don't have money to play in the market.
Yeah, but
Let's be honest.
The price of oil is going down.
That's big.
The price of gasoline is going down.
So all this is going to bode well for us come November.
What you have is a couple of criminals. And I believe that if Trump hits, if the president decides to hit Iran, he should take out the what do we call them? The IRGC.
Yeah, you got to get rid of them.
Take them out.
Got to.
You knock out a couple of divisions by air. I don't want our troops there.
I don't either.
I do not want our troops there.
But what if you can't get to the uranium without it? But what if you can't get to the uranium without them? What are you going to do?
We're going to knock out their troops. Okay?
I don't think you can go that way.
We're not going to.
I hope you're right.
We're not going to put our troops in there. It's not going to happen.
Then we're not going to win.
No,
then we're not going to win.
We have won.
You can't get to the uranium without putting troops on the ground.
We have won. And the thing what you have to do is make sure the next president after Trump's thing is good enough to be as tough as Trump.
Well, that's not going to happen, no matter who it is.
Well, it's going to be up to President Trump to help select him.
Yeah, I know. Well, the good news is his daughter-in-law, Lara, is on hold right now.
She is a great lady,
yeah.
And, I saw her Instagram. She had a great family weekend. And,
yeah.
And Lara, you're terrific. We're always good to talk to you.
She's going to join us next.
I'm going to go off, so you should go on.
John, it's great to see you. Great job. That's an excellent segment. Thank you so much. Thank you. The great John Catsimatidis. Catch him at 5 o'clock this afternoon alongside Rita Cosby. It's the Great Cats and Cosby Show. And, of course, 8 a.m. every Sunday morning, the Cats Roundtable.
Sid and Friends in the morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
We're going to talk to the aforementioned Lara Trump, my favorite Trump, President Trump's daughter-in-law. And I did see the pictures on Twitter, Eric and her daughter, Caroline, of course, and her son, Luke. Beautiful family. And they're just getting started, too, because July 4th, of course, is next weekend. So I'd expect even better pictures then. But it did look like, Lara, that you guys just had a great weekend. Great weekend.
We had a great weekend, and I'm sorry, am I talking to somebody who is now officially part of the New York Broadcasters Hall of Fame? Is that who I'm on the radio with? Because congratulations, Sid Rosenberg.
Oh, God.
Incredible.
Thank you.
Incredible.
Oh,
yeah.
my God. That is far and away the best part of this show today, that unprovoked Lara Trump just congratulated me. Seriously, I couldn't write that. I couldn't write that 5 years ago. Lara, thank you so much.
Listen, it's well-deserved. Everyone loves you. You are so incredible. You keep everyone informed. You keep people honest. You keep us going in New York. I'm here for the summer, as you said. You saw some of my posts with the family. And we got to bring this state back, Sid. You are going to be part of the charge to revive and restore the great state of New York. So we love you. Congratulations. It is so well-deserved. And you're just getting started. Talk about just getting started. There's a lot to come.
Well, I love you. Thank you. I really do love you and the whole family, and that means a lot to me. But the other stuff, I'm not sure I can help. I mean, you were here last Tuesday. I was in Jerusalem, actually, in Israel, but I watched it in horror as one socialist after another won, and won easily. Brad Lander, Chevalier, she's an awful person. And then you get this Claire Valdez, she's no good. And you've got the mayor, who, you know how much I hate his guts. And it's a strong thing to say that, but I say it, I hate his guts. So you got these people already won and continuing to win. That doesn't look good for our future here, Lara.
Well, it doesn't, but I think there's something interesting happening. Look, the way we got here is that you have an entire group of young Americans who have been taught a revisionist history of America and a revisionist history really of the entire world. They don't understand, Sid, that socialism has never been successful anywhere it has been tried anywhere in the world. It is a destroyer of countries and societies. And if you look at the folks who voted in those primaries where you have these socialists winning these different spots, what you'll notice is that the majority of the people who came out and voted were very young. They were under 25 years old for the most part. And I think that what we're seeing happen is actually almost a boomerang effect. Whenever it starts getting really scary, like we're seeing happen right now, I hope it makes people sit up, pay attention, and get involved. Look, if we come out in the same way in 2026 we did in 2024, there is no doubt that Republicans will sweep these midterm elections. We will trump, for lack of a better word, history, and we will make sure that Donald Trump, for his last 2 years in office, can make and continue the historic change that we've already seen happen so far. So I hope everybody uses this moment as a wake-up call, because we can't be lackadaisical. We can't sit on our laurels. We can't act like this stuff doesn't matter. It really matters. We cannot have socialists winning these spots in New York or elsewhere around the country. And it's not just a New York problem. It starts places like this, but it spreads throughout the country. And you're seeing this trend start to happen. So this is our moment. This is where we shake people awake. This is almost the Joe Biden in office for 4 years moment, where people were like, holy Toledo, we cannot continue down this path. We got to get Donald Trump back in. We got to get Republicans in. We got to have people with common sense. We have to save this country, and we have to save New York.
Let me take you to a Sunday afternoon, and no one's working, okay? And Grandpa, what do your kids call President Trump?
Oh, Grandpa.
Grandpa,
yeah.
Okay. So Grandpa just walked off the golf course, and there's little Luke and little Caroline. And you're talking to your father-in-law. You go, listen, even on my show, My View last night, you call him Dad? What do you call the president?
Yeah, we call him Dad.
Dad, okay. This is why people love this interview. They love it. Inside Baseball with Lara Trump. So you go, Dad, even on My View last night, I was really tough on Mamdani, but you said again yesterday, Dad, that he's a nice guy. I mean, what am I supposed to do? I say this because I destroy the guy every day. And I know if I shot up your father-in-law with truth serum, he'd agree with everything I say, everything. But publicly, he still continues to talk about handsome, nice guy, blah, blah, blah. And I got to tell you that not every New Yorker loves to hear that, because we're living here and we see how devastating this guy really is. Have you had any real conversations with your father-in-law about this guy, how New Yorkers really feel?
Well, 100%, but you also have to remember the position he's in. And there's a very interesting balance that has to be struck, I think, when you're president, and especially when you're this president. Look, he knows he's got fighters out there. He's got Sid Rosenberg on the radio every single day knocking this guy. He's got his daughter-in-law, Lara Trump, out there able to do the same thing, right? He's got folks like John Catsimatidis out there who are telling New Yorkers everything they need to know about Mamdani. But you also have to remember that this is a man who through and through loves New York City. He was made by New York City, and he made New York City what it is today. There's no doubt about it. And no one wants New York to come back more so than Donald Trump. But he understands as a negotiator, and that's something he's done his entire life in business, that sometimes you got to give a little to get a little. And what I mean by that is, yes, let's make sure we expose Mamdani and all these crazy socialists for exactly who they are. Let's tell New Yorkers the truth. Let's bring them the reality of the situation. But he is also, from the position of president, trying to ensure that whenever he can actually make some inroads here, he has that ability. You can't make a complete and full enemy, I think, out of somebody like the mayor of New York City as president and expect you to have any more leverage here in New York. So I think he's walking this fine line. I think he knows he's got his fighters out there like us right now who are talking about this situation. But he, kind of in the background and doing his thing as president, has this fine line he has to walk. And I think he's trying to do the best he can to ensure that he can help as president to make things better here in New York City, that whatever his role, he has somebody who maybe will call him instead of not call him in Mamdani if he says that he's a handsome guy. I don't know. That is the role that Donald Trump, I think, is trying to play. But he knows the truth, and he knows that, again, he's got people out here like us who are taking it to Mamdani every day.
That's a great explanation. I mean that. That is a great explanation, and I feel better now. Now, let me get to Iran. So I was on Fox News yesterday, and again, I don't have to tell you how much I love your father-in-law, but I want to move on with this. And what do I mean by that? I don't want American kids to die. I don't know how we get to the uranium without it. I don't know how you can't just pluck it from the sky. So eventually, if we want the dust, as our your father-in-law says, if we want the dust, it may require getting people out there. I don't know. All I know is ceasefire, they bomb us, we bomb them. Ceasefire, they bomb us, we bomb them. And we don't seem to be getting closer to the end. Now, John Catsimatidis just did a very good job explaining that, hey, throughout all this, look at the economics. The Dow Jones is up big, oil is down, so there are some things that are going great in favor of President Trump and America. But I made the point that Americans want to see this thing come to an end one way or the other. And I made that point yesterday. I think I surprised Laura, to be honest, Griff, Rachel, and Charlie, because I wasn't so rah-rah. to me. I was just in Israel last week. I know what those people are saying. What are your thoughts on where we are in this Iran conflict?
Well, if you think that you want it to be over, I can promise you there's no one who wants this to be over more so than Donald J. Trump himself. Look,
I know, but do you believe? I know he does, and he's a good man. I said this on Fox yesterday. I said he's a good man. He doesn't want to see anybody die. That's why he has not done to them what they really deserve. But there's no reason to think at this point that diplomacy is going to work, is there?
Well, look, we're dealing with a bit of unknown here, right? Because no one has really ever tried this. For 47 years, the people in Iran suffered under the thumb of these lunatics, right? And no one was willing to take this step. This president absolutely deserves a lot of credit for being willing to take this step. And it was necessary because we know that they were going to develop a nuclear weapon, and we know that they wanted to deploy it against Israel and
Agreed.
Against the United States. They've been very clear about that
Agreed.
for their entirety.
Yep.
So that in and of itself, I think he deserves a lot of credit for.
He does.
He did this at a time he knew it was not politically advantageous. Do I think that we will see an end to this? Absolutely, I do. Look at the strategy, actually, that has gone into where we are in this moment in Iran. This is a president who went in full force and really eradicated them and weakened them from an internal standpoint, right? Knocked out their Air Force, knocked out their Navy, made sure that they had very limited ability to injure anyone in the area, albeit they have these little cells and they have these little pockets where they can launch missiles, and we know we've seen that happen, obviously. But then you said, all right, enough with that. I'm going to go economically, and I'm going to destroy them economically. So in every way possible, Iran is in their most weakened state. We are not dealing, though, with rational people here. To your point, these people are absolutely crazy, and it is very challenging, I think, to have negotiations with people who are totally crazy. Here's what I will tell you, more inside baseball. I have been there when this president has received calls from his negotiators, and I mean Steve Witkoff, my brother-in-law Jared Kushner, and the vice president J.D. Vance. When he gets these calls, he is not willing to give up anything for the United States of America. I've heard him say no. The answer is no. We are not willing to bend at all. So you have to understand it's a very challenging process. Peace is not easy. Peace is never simple and straightforward, and it is never fast, and it's never perfect. But it is worth it. At the end of the day, when Iran is not able to develop a nuclear weapon, yes, this is more drawn out probably than the president ever wanted or any of us ever wanted. But the end result, if we're able to ensure that they never can develop a nuclear weapon, unlike the JCPOA, which allowed for sunset clauses, which allowed these people to develop nuclear weapons, unlike any other president, he is fighting every day, and he's working towards this solution. It's not going to be straightforward. It's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be perfect in the way everybody wants it in a nice little package. But I can promise you he's not going to give up anything for these people that is going to harm America. He wants everything in this agreement, and he's very clear about that. So I do believe we will get there. I hope we don't have to see boots on the ground. It may require it to some extent,
right.
But as you know with this president, this is the president of peace. This is a man who came into office second term and solved 8 conflicts around the world. He wants to see this come to an end. He's working towards it every day, but he's also not willing to give up anything on behalf of the United States to see that happen. So behind the scenes, I can promise you he's doing everything all the time to make an end to this and to make sure that we get everything we want as a country.
You know, no disrespect to J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio or Glenn Youngkin or Ron DeSantis. Talking to you the last 10 minutes is just another reminder, and you do it to me every week, that when he leaves in 2028, you should just move right in.
The Democrats would love that. We won't even have an election. I'll just set up shop.
Why? They did the same thing with Kamala Harris last time. They just threw her right in there. Right? There was no democratic process. You are so good. I mean it. I have no reason to patronize you. You are so good. All right, one more honest answer from you then. You're on a roll. You're on a roll, Lara. Your father-in-law and Bibi. I was just with Bibi in Israel last Sunday. We spent a lot of time together. I love the guy, okay? I think he's in a very tough spot. Like I even said to your father-in-law, when things get crazy with Iran, you know who gets bombed next? Not Brooklyn, not Cincinnati, not Jupiter, Florida. Tel Aviv. They get bombed next. So everybody who's critical of Bibi Netanyahu, shut up, okay? You have no idea how difficult this guy's job is. Every Arab country around him wants to kill him. Everyone. And now the Western world wants to kill him. This guy, he's done a tremendous job trying to keep those 10 million people safe. But the media is hell-bent on telling us that him and Trump are in a bad spot. Maybe they are. Where are they?
No, I don't think they're in a bad spot at all. But I think we all know who our president is. And he's a person who, kind of wears his heart on his sleeve. And he doesn't, for a second, stop to consider, do I need to soften up? No, he'll tell you exactly what he's thinking. And I think he's been frustrated with some things that have happened with Netanyahu. And he's been very honest about that, and probably rightly so.
And I'm okay with that.
At the end of,
I'm okay
but
with
at
that.
the end of the day, he knows, and he's been clear. There's never been a more supportive president of Israel than Donald J. Trump. This is our closest Middle Eastern ally. We are fighting to ensure that not only is America safe, but Israel is safe as well. And Netanyahu, by the way, you're right. This guy has an almost impossible job. I cannot imagine the pressure that he has on him. I was actually supposed to go over for my show a year ago and do an interview with him. And the craziest part, just so people understand how this man has to live day to day, they were like, we can't even give you a location for your interview until an hour before your interview is to take place, because that's how threatened Bibi Netanyahu is. That's how many people want to kill this man. So he deserves a whole host of credit. I think that I can't imagine living day to day like that. But you're right. He's doing a job that, people there, I'm sure in Israel, as much as maybe they don't like some things he's done or they're critical of things he's done, he is doing a great job for the people of Israel. And I can promise you there again, is no more strong defender of our friends there in Israel than Donald J. Trump. And so while they may have their differences on some things, no, I think they still have a great relationship.
So do I. I agree with you. I'm glad you said that, because that's what I think. All right, on the way out here, amazing conversation again. What do you guys do? You, Eric, and the kids do this weekend? I know obviously there's a big day, July 4th, there in D.C. by the mall, all that great stuff. Are you going to be there? Are you going to be here? What are you guys going to do this weekend?
We're actually still trying to decide it. There's a great fireworks show that's going to happen on July 3rd out at Mount Rushmore. I'm just going to throw it out there. We do need another president's face on Mount Rushmore. I'm going to advocate for 47
Me too.
And 45, 47 to be on there. Again, the Democrats will love that. Let's get Donald Trump's face on Mount Rushmore. Throwing it out, Sid. Just a little food for thought this morning. But we may go out there for that. But you know what? We've been so busy this summer that we were actually saying, you know what? Maybe we want to be right here at our New York home with our kids and our dogs on the 4th of July to celebrate here at our house. So we'll see what we decide to do. But nonetheless, happy birthday, America. 250. Listen, this has been the greatest experiment in the history of the world. We are the freest country on the face of the earth. There is nowhere with more opportunity. And I hope that whenever people are watching the World Cup visitors come over and just pour out their hearts about how great America is, how much they love Walmart, Sid. We should think about how lucky we are, how great America is. We need another 250 years and beyond to be the greatest country on earth. And I couldn't think of a better president to be in the White House than Donald J. Trump. So time to celebrate, guys. This is the big week. It's here. It's happening.
You're great, too. You're so great. This was an amazing conversation. Lara Trump, it's been a couple of weeks, but, man, did you come in and deliver. As always, I love you. Thank you, Laura. Great job. Enjoy the big holiday weekend. We'll do it again next week. Thank you so much.
I can't wait. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Fantastic. Lara Trump right there. Well, how great was that? I mean, she tackled every major important subject, and she's got great answers. She really does. That was good stuff, Lara Trump. Still more to come. We've got about an hour to go before we hand off the football to Brian Kilmeade.
Sid and Friends in the morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Tomorrow afternoon after the show, I've got the Barrett Media Conference. Chad Lopez getting a deserved award. Congratulations, Chad. Mark Simone getting a big award. I don't think I am, but I'm speaking on a panel with Simone tomorrow at 1:40 in the afternoon. And they have since found out, of course, that I've been elected to be inducted this October into the NAB Hall of Fame. Broadcasters, New York Broadcasters Hall of Fame, an immense honor. I found out at 3 o'clock in the morning local time in Jerusalem on Tuesday night. I started texting people I love. and I started to cry. That's how much it meant to me. So that's tomorrow afternoon. Then Wednesday night, our friends Lewis at the Rockaway Republican Club, Margaret Powers, Paul King, Mary Glynn, they're having their July 4th extravaganza, and I'm on the flyer. I'll go say a couple of words there, too. And then Thursday, finally, I get a chance to go see my mom in upstate New York, which I can't wait to do. And then Saturday, we got a big show I'll tell you about later. But let me take a break because we still have two more great guests to come. And you WFAN fans all know the name Mark Chernoff. He's going to be here. And also the Cake Girl. She's a big deal on NBC, the Today Show. She was on Fox News about the time I was on yesterday, right after me, in fact. So the Cake Girl makes her debut on Sid and Friends in the morning.
Sid and Friends in the morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
So yesterday morning, I made my way very early. I picked up at 5 a.m. on a Sunday to go to Fox News so I can get yelled at by Rachel Campos and Charlie Hurt and Griff Jenkins, although I think I did a very good job holding my own. In fact, I think I won. But it was great, and they're great people, and I'm going to do it again very, very soon. And I bumped into these fine, beautiful people. This lady is a big deal on NBC. You see her with Savannah Guthrie all the time. And she was on the show yesterday, too. And she's known by these three words, the Cake Girl. The Cake Girl.
Hello.
So how are you, Miss Cake Girl?
I'm doing great this morning.
Yeah. You've got a real name, too. It's like Christine or something.
Christina,
right?
yeah.
There
But everybody calls me the Cake Girl, and I respond to that.
Yeah, you do?
All the time.
And you're like a big star on television.
Yeah.
They do a lot of these segments, all the big shows, Today Show, Good Morning America, the terrible show with Gayle King, and Fox, too. But they have you guys, big-time cooks, and dessert people like you show up and cook on the set. So did you do stuff on the set yesterday?
Yes.
You did?
So we recorded a show called American Kitchen, which is actually debuting this weekend on July 3rd, Friday. And we basically brought a cake for America's 250th birthday.
Can I just say this? The greatest cake I've ever seen.
Oh,
I'm a very
thank you.
patriotic guy. First of all, it's like the size of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It's huge. And it's so patriotic.
Yes.
I mean, if it tastes as good as it looks, it's got to be an amazing cake.
That's what I always say. It not only has to look good, but it has to taste good. It has to have both.
Because I buy my son cakes for his birthday when he was little, because they were good themes. And then the cake tastes like wax, you know?
Exactly. A lot of people, they always come up, they're like, I know your cakes look great and all, but do they taste good? And I'm like, I always say it has to taste good and it has to look good. So.
Okay, so I believe you. I believe that's it. You don't get as big as you are without being great at what you're doing.
Thank you.
How did you become the Cake Girl? How did it all start?
You know, it all started when I started dating. Well, back then, obviously, my boyfriend, Kirby, now my husband.
Is that the black guy with the big muscles? Is that him? Seriously?
That is a good friend. That was Chef Rush.
Oh, my God. I thought that guy was like the wrestling champ or something. So he works for you, too?
No, we're actually really good friends. He's one of the other chefs that actually did cooking with us in the show on
He's
American
a chef?
Kitchen. Yes, he
I've
is.
never seen a larger... I covered the NFL for years.
Yeah, no, he actually was, I think it was 4 presidents. He cooked at the White House for them. Yeah, so that's how he's well known, for sure.
Okay.
But no, Kirby's actually my husband. But he actually used to call me when we used to date back in the day, the Cake Girl. So the name stuck, and then that's what we named our business.
That's awesome. He's been texting me, actually, Kirby. He's a sweet guy.
Awesome.
Very nice guy.
He's the guy behind the scenes.
But he's good, too. We could do this, too, right?
Yeah, no, yes. He actually can't let you fool you. He does decorating with me sometimes. So he's a great supported. And not only a great husband, for sure.
That is fantastic. How long have you been doing this for?
Oh, wow. I know the business itself as a brick and mortar has been open for 7 years, but been doing it, oh my God, I started from home more than 10 years ago. Then we took it to festivals, markets, food truck, and then now a store. So it's been quite the journey.
Oh, my God. Good for you.
Yes.
And do you remember how old you were when you first baked your first cake?
Oh I was 5 years old.
5
years old.
Yeah.
I used to, I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. And I used to tell my mom I want to bake. That's all I wanted to do. Obviously not what I do today because I was so little, but I wanted to take this as a career for sure.
Fantastic. So today's a big day for you because you're actually debuting a brand new item, yes?
Yes. It's actually, so we've had the Craving Cups, which is cake in a jar for those that don't know.
Right.
But we've had it and sold it at our stores as an 8-ounce cup. What we're debuting is a 4-ounce jar. So that's the new product we are going to be carrying. A smaller jar, same great flavor. We're just going to basically do a 4 lineup and then just basically roll it out.
Oh, fantastic. And you have all these different flavors.
Yeah, so today we're debuting our cookies and cream, which
cookies and cream.
Which is marble cake, and then we have cookies and cream buttercream icing, and then topped with Oreos on top.
Oh, come on. It's fantastic, no?
Yes.
This is great. How many flavors altogether do you have of these?
Well, of the smaller ones, we're debuting 4. We're doing a Lady in Red, which is red velvet. We're doing a unicorn, which is very rainbow colorful cake with cake buttercream. And then we're doing a cookie butter, which is Biscoff cookie, which is very popular. Vanilla cake, Biscoff filling, and then the cookie buttercream.
Could people reach out to you and have you custom make something for July 4th this weekend?
Yes.
Something American, patriotic?
Yes, sir.
They can. So what is the best way to reach the Cake Girl?
Under our website. So under thecakegirl.com, you'll be able to fill out a request form, or you could also order the bigger jars, our 8-ounce jars, too, for shipping nationwide, too.
Oh, that's
and
fantastic.
we have different flavors.
And you guys are out of Tampa, Florida, right?
Yes.
And you're going back tonight. And you've got a big event coming up today at the Jacob Javits Center. Now, what is that all about
That's
exactly?
the Summer Fancy Food Show.
Oh.
We're debuting our little jars in there. There's a lot of buyers. There's a lot of entrepreneurs. So we're taking our 4-ounce jars, to showcase them and see if this is something that we could put in stores and retail stores. So we're very excited.
And you have a weekly relationship with the Today Show? What is your relationship with NBC and all that? How often are you on that show?
So the Today Show we did once.
Oh, once?
Once. And it was for not American Heritage. It was for Hispanic Heritage Month.
Oh, good.
Yes. So we debuted our Puerto Rican cake. Since I'm from Puerto Rico, that's one of our popular cake flavors that we have in our store that we do. And then on Fox, we've been a few times.
That's great.
Very
Fox.
grateful.
Right. Okay, so again, for folks who want to take advantage, I can't wait to eat this stuff after the show. I'm very excited about it.
Yes, I want to know your opinion about it.
I'm sure I'm going to love it. What is, again, the best way to contact you guys?
TheCakeGirl.com.
TheCakeGirl.com.
Yes.
Well, you're lovely. It's great to see you again.
Thank
2 days
you.
in a row.
Thank you for having us.
You too.
Here. Yes.
And have a safe trip back to Tampa and continued success. You're doing great. I'm happy for you.
Yes. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. TheCakeGirl.com, folks. Make sure that you get yourself something delicious for the big 250th birthday party coming up this weekend. Nobody does it better than TheCakeGirl.com. We'll take a short break. Still to come, Mark Chernoff and more. I hand the football off to Brian Kilmeade in about 25 minutes.
Sid and Friends in the morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
It all started here in New York, 2000. I was done with WNEW. Didn't go well. Started with Scott Kaplan, ended with Craig Carton. And I was making my way over to one of these tents at the Rockefeller Center. I don't know. It was the World Series. It was the Mets versus the Yankees, that Subway Series. And I met a guy named Mark Chernoff, and a terrific guy. And a few other people. I think I met Lee Davis that day, maybe Connie Fitzgerald. I don't know. But that's where my whole WFAN interaction started. Then I had some lunch with Steve Cohen. So long story short, when I was done with WNEW and about to move back to Florida and basically scrap my radio career, I was told by Cohen that WFAN wanted to give me a chance. Mark Chernoff. And he was the guy that made that decision. And here we are, 26 years later. I'm headed to the Hall of Fame, and he is certainly one of, if not the most, important people in what has been quite the journey. Quite the journey. So here he is. Everybody in Radio knows him. He's a legend. That word legend, we throw it around all the time, but he is legitimately a legend, the great Mark Chernoff. Tony, good morning. How are you?
I'm good, Sid. You are absolutely the comeback kid.
I love that. I do love that because Cherny, I remember like yesterday being on the George Washington Bridge, heading from Tenafly to Astoria with Danielle to beg you to keep me at work. And you did the best you can. I never blamed you. You did the best you can. Every time I was fired from any job, anywhere, and there were a lot between New York and Florida, I'm accountable for all of it. It broke your heart. I know it did. You didn't want to have to do it. You were there for those days.
The lowest point was clearly the day you missed the Giants pregame show at what was then called Giants Stadium, and I saw your dad in the parking lot who was waiting for you to host the pregame show. And I said, "Where's Sid?" And I remember he put his hands over his face and said, "Oh." And where you were was down in Atlantic City.
Yep.
And if I remember correctly, you had an agent, Mark Lebselter, and I did see Mark, and you guys were supposed to come back together, and he just looked at me and said, Sid didn't make it back.
No. And you did warn me. You know, you warned me not to go.
I said, don't go. I said, nothing good is going to come out of this. If somebody owes you money, let them pay you. Let them give you a check. Let them give you cash. But do not go to Atlantic City.
You were right. So was Danielle. And, you know, my dad, this Thursday, July 1st, will be 6 years to the day that we lost Harvey. He loved you, by the way. I know you were very nice.
Your dad. What a great guy he was. He was funny, too.
He was. Thank you. So he's not here to see this now, but I'm curious. When you met me and saw me outside of that tent in Rockefeller Center, at the time I was really doing the only sports show in the mornings because you had the great Imus and me and Scott were doing our silly little radio show. What was it that said to you, let me give this guy a chance?
And maybe it was because you were wearing a Rangers jersey. Listen, I knew you were on NEW and it was part of the company, and I knew you were talented, and I knew you were funny, and you were a little bit off-center, which is, I said, okay, that's not a bad thing, that's a good thing. And I said, you definitely deserved a chance. And Steve Cohen was a big fan of yours. And said, yes, I think he's talented. I think he's good. I listened to some of your stuff, and I talked to you, and I said it's definitely worth giving you a shot. And your on-air work never disappointed. Never disappointed. It was just, your personal stuff at the time, a lot, and as you say, you were to blame for your own stuff, and I have to agree with that. Yep. But you were able to come back from all of that horrible stuff. You straightened things out, and now look at your New York State Broadcasters Hall of Fame.
I know, it's pretty amazing.
Sid. What an honor. I mean, that's fabulous. The way, as I say, you are absolutely the comeback kid.
Are you going to make me cry, Chernoff? Mark Chernoff here, the great Mark Chernoff, and are you on that Hall of Fame? Because if you're not, that's ridiculous.
Yes, I got in a few years ago.
Okay.
Maybe they'll put our plaques near each other.
Yeah, they should. They really should. You're the guy that said, let's give this guy a chance. So you've been doing this a long time, and you've been around the all-time greats, great stories from Howard Stern. We're not going to share them now, but a couple of great stories. And obviously, Imus and Mike and the Mad Dog and other greats at WFAN. And other disc jockeys, too, that played music along the way that you're still friendly with. And what does it take, Mark Chernoff, in your opinion, what does it take to turn somebody from a good broadcaster to somebody who one day, I'm not saying I am, I'm not that arrogant, but one day some will consider one of the all-time greats?
It is hard to say, but obviously it's talent and desire. And if you have the talent and you have the desire, and look, I know it's tougher in the radio world than it's ever been. I see one of the companies, iHeart, has been cutting people left and right. And it's sad for me to see all of this stuff going on, that I worry about AI and I worry about companies downsizing. But if you have talent and you have the desire, that's your best shot at becoming a success. It's hard to say what the specifics are, but in the sports world, my good buddy Eric Spitz always said, if you have talent, You've always got a shot. And if you have an understanding in sports, if you have an opinion and you're entertaining, those are the kinds of things that will, push you ahead. You've got to be in the right place at the right time. If you're paired with somebody, if you're a sports talk show host, you got to hope you got the right partner. Look at Mike and Chris.
Yep.
Each one of them is talented and have had hugely successful careers, but will anything ever be as good as the Mike and the Mad Dog together?
No.
Again, this is not to diminish their talent in any way, because both as individuals are extremely talented, but that was one-of-a-kind radio show. Mark Mason put those guys together. They partnered for 19 years, and it was really some of the most amazing radio. They went through personal times where they did not like each other, to say the least, but they muddled through that stuff. There were ups and downs personally for them, but as a team on the air, it was magic. And Sid, when you and Joe Benigno were together, that was great radio.
It's funny. He was on early this morning, and I talked about that. And thank you for saying that, because we was very good radio. We had a really good time, and even before him, of course, it was me and Jody Mack. But Benigno and I thought could have been special. I screwed that up, but we could have been special. But Mike and the Mad Dog, the greatest of all time, there's no question. You talk about Mark Mason finding Mike and the Mad Dog. You found Boomer and Craig. And I think when you talk about the next generation of WFAN, past what I thought were the glory days, I still think that. I miss Mike and the Mad Dog, Joe and Sid, Steve Summers. You're not going to beat that station. Not now, not ever. But you did find that next great morning show. And Craig was also a Hall of Famer, has turned out to be very special. So that one goes into your holster.
He has. And, putting Boomer with Greg Gennady turned out to be a terrific pairing as well.
Yep.
They're doing good things on the radio. And by the way, hi Lou Ruffino. I just wanted to say hi to you while
one of my favorite people of all time is Mark Chernoff.
And he's just so you know, he says that. Here's the real test, Cherny. He says that when you're not on the phone.
Oh, okay.
I've never.
No, he loves Mark. You. Listen, I don't know anybody that didn't like Cherny, except for Mike sometimes.
Well, Mike could be like that with everybody. Yeah.
No, Mike loves him. Everybody loves you because you gave everybody a fair chance.
Well, you're nice to say that.
No, it's true. What do you miss the most when you look back at your career, working with these all-time greats, finding talent, working with immense talent? What do you miss the most on a daily basis?
Well, it was just the idea of being around all these talented people. I enjoyed this, and I still do music shows. I think you know that.
Yep.
And I like doing it, and I have fun doing that. But just the talent I've been associated with has just always been amazing to me. And to be around, all these great legends of radio, whether it had been at NEW, whether it had been at K-Rock, whether it had been at FAN. I mean, for me, it's like I can't believe I'm in the same world as all of these talented people. And even if it's been in a position where, let's say, I'm the boss, I've always felt like, good people, talented people, they really, in a lot of ways, know how to manage themselves. So, yes, I could look at myself as a director, but it was always, what can I do to be helpful to you to continue your success? You think I was going to tell Howard Stern how to do radio? You think I was going to tell Don Imus how to do radio? No way.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
There to support.
Right, but here's the thing with you that we have about a minute to go that made you special. You treated all of us the same. Now, not everybody did. I'm going to be honest. Program directors did not do that. Sales managers, station owners. You found a way to at least make the midday show feel every bit as important as the other shows, even though Eddie Scazzeri wrote on the wall the number 2 with a fiddle.
You know what? I always felt like, it's like my kids, everybody was my kids. And, you got to be nice to everybody. And I always wanted to treat people the way I wanted to be treated. Sid, I always said to people, if you have a family event, you take care of that. Everything is, with your family is first and foremost. You can get, whether it's a support staff, whether it's on the air, do what's important, spend the time with your family, you'll get your work done. Figure out a way to do it, but your family always comes first, and I still feel like that to this day.
You're a special guy. You, Sally, your sons, your grandchildren, the whole Chernoff family. I can't thank you enough. I really can't for the opportunity that you gave me 26 years ago that has now translated into this. And I've always loved you. And, whether it's a birthday or anniversary, one of the first texts I always get, still, I'm long gone. Still, you too, Lou, is from Mark Chernoff. So we all love you. Thank you so much, Johnny. Thank you for coming on today. And thank you for the opportunity. We love you. Thanks.
Mazel tov, comeback kid.
Thank you. I'm going to go with that from now on. I'm going to use that. Thank you, Cherny. I'm going to use that. That's my new moniker, the comeback kid. I like it. You like it, Lou?
Of course I do.
Chernoff, that's it. The comeback kid.
Leave it to Mark to come up with.
He is something else.
He was fair to everybody.
He really was.
And that's why all of the crazy talent loved him.
All of them.
Because they would sit with Mark. And he did exactly what he did. He just guided.
Yeah.
Said, maybe you should try this, maybe. But he never tried to be a boss.
No, never. And he was so even-keeled.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah.
All of the lunacy.
Yeah. There was a lot of lunatics in that place, and he was even-keeled.
My favorite story is still after he came back from the David Lee Roth thing.
Oh.
He was trying to fix it.
Yeah.
I'll always remember he came back. He came into the lobby.
Yeah.
And during our show, and I said, Mark, how's it going? Oh, he's an idiot. He's not listening to a thing. Forget it. I hope it's going to fail, and I'm glad.
Well, it did. He replaced Howard Stern at K-Rock.
I cried laughing. It was so funny.
It's funny.
Thanks for listening to Sid and Friends in the Morning. You can hear Sid and Friends in the Morning weekday mornings at 6. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
This episode is brought to you by Google Health. Stop chasing someone else's definition of health. What matters is what's healthy for you. Google Health offers a new kind of coach built with Gemini for effortless tracking, sleep insights, and holistic coaching tailored to you. Visit googlestore.com to learn more and start a new relationship with your health. Requires Google account, Google Health app, internet, and Google Health premium subscription. Features subject to change. Availability and results vary. Not intended for medical purposes. Works independently of Gemini apps. Check responses for accuracy.